Big up, everybody. It's your boy, and welcome to MUFC fan channel. You know what time it is. Smash the likes and subscribe. Get in for the latest and breaking news, all things Manchester United. You know what you want. You can find it here. Everyone's opinion is welcome. Don't forget, have your say. Most importantly, without you, there'd be no show. So big up to everyone joining. And I have to say, I tell the truth. I tell the truth. I told it. You know what I mean? I might sound overly excited, but my buddy Mathys Tel in the building. Yeah, he's been here all the time. Have no fear.
Mathys Tel is here. We in the building.
Big up to everyone watching. Bro, Marcus Rashford, Aston Villa, green light from good evening. What is your thoughts on that? Mathys Tel, second contact, concrete interest from Manchester United. It looks like it could be one in, one out. What are your thoughts, my bro?
I suppose there's 3 points. 2 points for the second one, 1 point for the first one. First one being, thank you very much, Marcus Rashford, for your service. You've scored on countless derby days. You've murdered Trent Alexander multiple times. You've scored multiple goals past City, Arsenal, Chelsea, free kick past Chelsea, hell of a free kick. Yeah. You've had one fantastic season, pretty much world class. And now we're bidding you farewell. I hope and pray that come the summer, when they return you back to us, you do not play any pre-season friendly, and you literally wrap up your career at Manchester United so we can cash in on you at 27 years of age. I believe we've got the best that we're ever going to get out of you. And it's not that you can't go and give somebody else a 30-goal season, but I believe at Manchester United, your heart is no longer at your boyhood club and you are officially done. We bid you farewell. And we thank you for your service and everything you've done. Thank you very much, Marcus Rashford.
Big up to Marky Rashford. And bro, like, you know it, we might criticize the guy, but we don't hate the guy. You know, we know the talent he has, and we know we weren't getting that for quite some time now. And that's what frustrates us more than anything else. This has nothing to do with us thinking he's a terrible player or anything like that. He's got all the qualities, pace, power, ability, can score. You know, but just hasn't been putting it on. And that's the problem. And I mean, it's sad because it was his boyhood club. He's supposed to be the Mancunian, the leader of this squad. He wears the number 10, most important player, in my opinion, on any team. But it just wasn't to be for us. And you know what, guys? If he does move on and has success, hey, power to him. Congratulations. And we will be there to celebrate that as well. But at this time, it just felt for a long time that, yeah, he's not been, you know, clearly interested in playing for Man United anymore. And these reports, not only from Fabrizio Romano, but even David Ornstein has been reporting on it. And it's clear that Rashford is, you know, is probably on the verge of a move to Aston Villa. How that impacts Man United's season, positive or negative, well, he won't be playing against us, that's for one thing. And I think it would do well for his career to get, you know, it's in London, a change of atmosphere, a change of perspective.
No, it's in Birmingham.
Might do the young lad good.
It's in Birmingham.
In Birmingham?
Yeah, Aston Villa's in Birmingham.
Oh, shit. My bad. I'm sorry. Don't laugh at your boy too hard, bro. You know, England is a little complicated for me still. You know, London, from what's not London, it's a mad one. For me. Apologies. But, yeah, I think, you know, it's going to be interesting. If Tel cost around 70 million this summer, wouldn't you rather spend that money on a CF like Gyökeres? I rarely think that he's going to cost that much. If Bayern agreed to 60 million euros, that's 50 million pounds. I don't think the price will go up in the summer. I think, especially with how Man United have been doing intelligent business this last summer, they would factor in a figure somewhere around that figure, maybe 65 million in an option to buy in the summer. I don't think they're going to increase to 70 million pounds when they accepted a bid for 50 million pounds in all actuality already from Tottenham Hotspur. So let's see how it goes. Of course, we're paying a loan fee, so that might make it a little bit of a cheaper deal. Of course, with Bayern extending it to the summer, it means that they even pay less than what they would have paid to his parent club, which is Rennes, which is a 6 to 9% value. It would drop down to more like 5%, which would be a lot cheaper than what they would be paying right now. So maybe the price might be different. What is this? When Rashford said he wanted a new challenge, did you think he envisioned going to the city of Birmingham? Well, obviously, I don't think so, bro. Like, I thought he was thinking about somewhere nice, like maybe in La Liga, Madrid, somewhere around there, Barcelona. I mean, he had some high hopes, but his performances weren't cashing those checks, bro.
Do you know what's crazy though? Yeah, if my brother, basically scuppered 2 moves, one move to Italy, and one move to Spain, right? And then got me a move to Birmingham from Manchester, I'm punching him in the face, mate. I'm not gonna lie to you. And that's not because, I hate England in any form of way, but it's just because, like, bro, I could be in Spain, bruv. Yeah? Like drinking sangrias and all of this, bruv. Yeah? I could be playing soccer with some serious ballers, bruv. But nah, I'm going to play in rainy Birmingham, bruv. Yeah, I could have been in Italy, in Milan, at Fashion Week, But nah, with the models and everything, but
Gracie
nah.
might not want to come back.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I mean, Milan, that's where you want to be. But I mean, it's crazy, bro. Like, I'm pretty sure he is one of the most frustrated right now, bro. And I think this is good for him because I think this will give him perspective on the decisions that he has made and the bad decisions that he made. Well, Aston Villa's in Birmingham, Luan. You know what I mean? Big up to Mikel as well in the building. So but he's basically gone to the city of Birmingham, which is right next door. I always forget that, I always see this Birmingham sign when I'm going to and from the airport. So that's my bad there. I was thinking he was closer to London, but yeah, he's going right next door. He doesn't have to drive too far. He doesn't have to move. In my honest opinion, I don't think he has to move. He can drive to go. He can get a drive to work.
Yeah, but it would have only been 6 months, so you don't really have to move everything. You just have to pack a few light bags and you're good.
Exactly, bro. I mean, yeah, so you could say he's going to play Champions League. He can go on holiday anytime he wants. I mean, that's interesting as well, but I just think for Marcus, I would have hoped for more interesting dynamic. He would have been playing Champions League for Milan anyways. So it's not like
or if he went to Barca, he would have had a higher chance of winning the Champions League at Barca. Higher chance.
Higher chance. And he would have also had the opportunity to play in another city in Juventus or Napoli. I mean, Napoli's in the Champions League, broski. Yeah, and you would have been the biggest player in the Napoli team. You would have been the guy, Marquis Rashford. You'd have walked into Napoli as the sensation that you wanted to be. And they would have worshipped you for it. And you got Scotty there who's going to help you. You got Lukaku there as well. There are guys there who that will get you in and you will be in.
He could have won the league in Italy. He could have done so many different things. 100. But what he ended up doing, like, that needs to be studied. Like, in my opinion, that's got to be a fragile mentality. Like, why are you not backing yourself to go to a bigger team and show what you can do? Or do you need to take a step back in a team where the expectation is a bit lower, so what, you can carry on doing the mediocre thing? Like, if Rashford is not on fire at Aston Villa, that needs to be studied. His fall from grace. And whatever he does over there, I just hope he every goal he scores, we can add extra 500,000 onto his value for every goal that he scores. Please, Rashford, don't fall off. Yeah, don't turn into a mediocre player for now. Well, you've been mediocre for us, but like step your level up. Like be 10-10 Rashford and start banging in goals left, right, and center so we could sell you to whoever for the craziest amount of money. Do us proud, mate. Except against us. Kill all our rivals for us. That's what we want.
Interesting. Big up to Kennedy in the building. I think it was a 35 million pound selling clause, but it's a base of 15 million pounds that could rise to 15 to 20 to 35 million pounds based on certain achievable add-ons. And apparently, with his latest performance, he's achieved that we are currently at 25 million pounds in possible payout from a sell-on clause on the player. Let's see how it goes. Big up to you, broski. Villa not bigger right now than who? Nah, bro, nah, Sosa, for real? Nah, bro, you just compare Villa to a team playing in Europe almost every year. AC Milan, Villa, nah, jeez, nah, broski, bro, I from the islands, bro, but bro, my mama, I was about to ask if you're from behind God back there for a second, bro. Villa could never be bigger than Milan or Juventus or Napoli, bro. Not in the world of football. Maybe in England, but not in the world of football. Bro, these are teams that is frequent the Champions League and Europa League, bro. Villa just in the last 2 years they hadn't seen Europe for about a decade, if not, or a couple years, if not. And if they did, was sparingly, bro. No one cares about Villa outside the UK, bro. You don't see nobody wearing no Aston Villa shirts nowhere, bro. Bro, that's mad. What needs to be studied is how Amram can make use of such a talented forward. No, bro, like, listen. I don't really disagree with that. But you can't make use of a blunt knife. If you have a blunt knife, bro, it's the knife fault. It's not the knife fault. You have to sharpen it. You know, if you sharpen the knife, then it will be able to be usable. But this brother form not sharp. He not coming to game day sharp and ready to score for United. He's not coming out there and putting on no expert performances that make you feel like he's working hard, dripping sweat. He looks like he's trying to carry this team on his back, bro. And this comes from a guy, bro, who backed Rashford for the last decade, King. I back in Rashford since he put on that number 19, former York kit. I was like, you is the guy. So don't come to say it like if man them in backing him, bro. Man them back Rashford for a decade, through it all, thick and thin, bro. Even when he was going through up and downs with different situations, we back him through the fact that, you know, Jose playing with injuries, Oli playing under injuries. We give him the time to go get to recover and come back under Ten Hag, bro. He banged 33 goals and disappeared since. And we still back him, bro.
Who remembers, when Van Gaal said he wants his players to be horny, yeah? Like, Rashford's not horny at Manchester United. And we've tried to give him many blue pills, but the blue pills ain't working. So he needs to keep it moving to Aston Villa and stay over there or find another club in the summer. Because at the end of the day, the expectations that we have on this lad is going lower and lower year by year. And it's unfortunate that a 27-year-old guy has started to regress in his career rather than progress in his career. So at the end of the day, people like Ahmad and Garnacho, they can't look at Rashford and say, oh, yeah, we want to be like him. Because at the moment, what is he really doing? He's not really doing anything. If anything, he's just matching their energy. Is that what a leader does? They want to match the up-and-comings players' energy. Is that what a leader's supposed to be doing? It's ridiculous stuff.
Bro, listen. Villa didn't give Dwight York a start, darling. Let me tell you something. Dwight York come from Standard Liège, banging the most goals in Belgium. And 4 clubs from England wanted Dwight York, not just Villa. Man United had looked at him. Newcastle had looked at him. Liverpool had looked at him. And Villa. And when he came, it was because he was advised to go there, and that will be best for his development at the time, and it will possibly be a springboard to go into where he wanted, which is Man United. And I mean, he does have a Villa shirt, a signed Villa shirt in his house. It have, even a few trainees might have a Dwight York Villa shirt, of course. But he's a total Manchester United man. When he talk about his history, he talk about Man United, bro. He's always talking about Man United. So yeah, I mean, it was cool. But for me, guys, like, listen, right? Nobody not criticizing Rashford's ability here, because we all rate Rashford as a talent, bro. What we criticizing is his lack of effort. That's no one fault but his own, bro. And that's the one thing I'm trying to get out, because I don't want anyone to feel that we dislike Rashford for who he is. We just dislike the fact that he's not giving the effort that he owes that, because of his salary, because of the fact that we all cheer for him for a decade. He owes it to us, not just to me, to you all as well. I mean, 76,000 fans in the stadium chanting your name, bro. You're not going to run for 60, 70 minutes. Blood, sweat, tears. Come on, bro. We need to backhammer him, because we have to do a good young manager here. Some people don't know what they will have until it's gone 100%. Man, them. If this manager gets sacked, who would have? People could say it have anyone. We could bring anyone. As if, man, them will like what anyone else is going to do. That's the next thing. Because at some point, they're going to stick with someone. We better hope it's someone that we appreciate, to be honest. You know what I mean? Whatever your thoughts are. Big up to everyone in the building. Big up to Lucky Singh as well. Rashford loves partying and is not disciplined to follow Amarim's rules. 100%. That was a madness, you said. Big Milan, 100%, bro. Big Milan, bro. Juventus and all, the old lady. Bro, I from the islands, And the time, man, them rocking the old lady since I go into primary school, bro. I talking about before I was 10 years old. Man, them wearing Milan kits, Juventus kits. I never used to... I see Aston Villa kits when Dwight York signed for Aston Villa, bro. Not since then.
Do you know what's mad, yeah? I know that is it AC Milan? They did a collaboration with Louis Vuitton, like for AC Milan to do a collaboration with Louis Vuitton. And when I saw the price of the coat, I thought, my God, that's crazy. Yeah. So for a football club to go and do that, yeah, that should tell you something. You think Villa can ever have a collaboration like that? Like this current Aston Villa, certain man ain't even seen their stadium, bruv. You go to that stadium, you don't even want to go inside it, bruv. Like it's in some dusty neighborhood, bruv. I'm telling you. But yeah, big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to Lucky Singh. Big up to Sosa.
I would hope him to win bro. I hope that he go there and be the best player at Aston Villa, bro. I swear. You know why? Because then that raises his value. It brings him back into confidence, bro. And maybe then he will understand. And for him, it will be a breakthrough, bro. I think you man them think about it a little bit less likely, bro. Listen. I would genuinely be happy for this brother to be one of the best players in the world, whether he do it at Man United or not. I would be more upset that he could not do it at Man United and frustrated why he could not achieve this here. Right? But, bro, make no mistake. I would love to see him succeed, bro. 100%. And we will be sitting here cuddling Garnacho. No one cuddles Garnacho, bro. Come on, bro. That dude was getting heavy criticism. I rate Rashford more than I rate Garnacho. But Rashford not doing it, bro. In England, I mean, yeah. But England, I mean, the majority of Manchester United fans, not even in England, Luan. So, on a global sense, if you're talking to the fan base, people will know more about Milan and these teams. To be honest, I mean, Villa is just a competitor of Man United in the league. That's it. They need a rival, no anything else more than that. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we better. Because we love these footballers from time. This going on 10 years, the love-hate relationship we have with this brother. I don't know about you, But I supported this brother 10 years now. 10 years of my life I devote to this team, and he was part of it. And I just 10. We're not talking about the other 20.
The thing is, yeah, some people were done with Rashford long time ago. I only became done with him from like last season. Like last season, when he played the way he decided to play, I just said, you know what? I've given this guy so many chances. Yeah. People were done with him 3 or 4 years ago. And they were highlighting that, oh, Rashford's playing rubbish and whatnot. I was like, nah, man, he's probably injured. Like, I was doing what Mark does with the young players. I was trying to do that with Rashford. I was trying to say, nah, give him more time to develop and all this. Yeah. Give him more time. He's probably injured. He's like his girlfriend dumped him. Like something's gone wrong. Like I was giving him the benefit of the doubt multiple times. But now that I've seen that something's died in it inside him for Manchester United, I rather the guy just keep it moving. Because now he just reminds me of a girl that's cheating, that's trying to stay in the relationship. Like his heart is not at Manchester United. That's why we need to cut the umbilical cord and tell him keep it moving, bro.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. Right? Everybody know, bro. I will back players through the darkest times. I not done with Rashford, but I frustrated with him, bro. Frustrated because I always tell Luan and I go back and forth, and she know for a time, 3-4 years now, I in Flying Pig channel telling Flying Pig, telling Joe, yo, we need to sell Rashford. Since before 10 had come, I was like, sell this guy. Not because he's bad, but sell him. Because we need to reform everything, and the high profile players need to go first. We need to break down the egos in the squad, so when Ten Hag come, it only have small-minded egos who ain't really do much, so they can't really make no impact. It looks like I was right. I mean, it's not about the player's ability. Don't even think about it like that. And because I rate Anthony, but he has not performed anywhere near Rashford. He on loan. Anybody hear me talking about Anthony like I'm crying? No. Because as a United fan, and what's best for the club is what's best for the club. And while I play at the club, I will back them. But hey, when they're behaving like how Sancho and this brother, and he's a Trini to my heart. Sancho is a Trini. I won't play for Trinidad. Right now, I sweating bricks to do a watch along Trinidad versus Jamaica, because guess what? I come up against young Mr. Generational Greenwood. And I know Trinidad go and lose because that brother go and score a trick. But at the same time, it's come a time when it's had to cut the umbilical cord, just like man them saying in the chat, bro. Sometimes you just had to be like, yo, it's time to move on. And this is where the road ends. If this is where the road ends, hey, this is where the road ends. And maybe he go do the opposite to York. Maybe he will go to Aston Villa and be a superstar. Who knows? But make no mistake, he will be replaced. And it looking like it will be this guy. And this guy, Mathys Tel, I'm telling you guys now, I've given him 5 games, 60 minutes a game. And I'm telling you all will enjoy supporting this brother. He might never be able to replace Rashford now. But in 2 years, this brother will do more. In the terms of the now. Not in terms of the entire 10 years of Rashford, but in terms of right now, he will offer more. He's a hard-working player with similar abilities, similar traits. Better technical abilities, in my opinion, as well. Sad to say. But it's true. We'll see how it goes. You know what I mean? Bali, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people feel when they want to sell a player because they think he's rubbish. Sometimes it's just not about that, bro.
No,
football just a weird sport.
It's not only about because a guy's rubbish. Sometimes you sell a guy because his heart's not in it. And, at the end of the day, the fan base wanted Scott McTominay gone. Scott McTominay left. And now because I do occasionally watch the odd Napoli game, and I see him and Lukaku tearing it up for them. I literally see this. It's like, not to say that Scott McTominay didn't put in his full effort for Manchester United. He did. And at times he looked good doing it, and a lot of the times he didn't look good doing it. Or some of the times he when coming to get the ball off the back four, he'll be hiding behind the opposition's midfield. And it was disgraceful, to be fair. But in Napoli, this guy is not putting no foot wrong. So sometimes you just got to leave the club and elevate your level to the level it's really supposed to be at. And at the club, Rashford's unable to do that. Maybe it's the comfort of being in his hometown. Because as an example, I know a lot of people in Manchester and they're always telling me, yeah, Rashford's just rolling around this place. He's got all the chains on, no security, this, that, and the third. Do you think he can do that in Birmingham? Like, he ain't gonna be that comfortable over there. Like, he ain't gonna be in his comfort zone where he can go outside with no security, wearing 100 chains around his neck and think that it's just gonna be some normal settings. Like Villa, going to Birmingham, that's a greasy place. Like, and he might not feel 100% comfortable there. He might feel like maybe I should stay at my ass at home rather than be partying out all night in a strange area where I don't know no people with 100 chains around my neck. He might not want to do that. He might just knuckle down and say, yeah, I'm going to play my football. He might be in that situation. It's unfamiliar territory. So at the end of the day, like I said before, obviously, I wish him well, not against us, but I hope that he goes and buries every single one of our rivals, every single team that tried to drag his name through the mud whilst playing for Manchester United. I hope he does them the absolute dirtiest when he comes up against them, and he takes points of every single one of them for us.
I hope so too. Bali, you might have to do a face reveal in a time and men starting to wonder if he's real food under disguise, you know, bro. Big up to Danny B and big up to J United in building. Yo, big up to Abdullah Ilwan as well. Guys, you know what I mean? Everyone could have their various opinions, you know, Diego Leon played 90 minutes yesterday for Paraguay under 20 in South American Cup and he assisted with a goal, bro. I was watching the highlights. I didn't get to watch the game. You know, Trinidad and Tobago under 17 was playing yesterday, so I was kind of watching that game at the same time, and yeah, it just happens like that, bro. But it was a decent performance from the highlights. It looked to be a good one for the young player. Of course, we could expect a lot from him. We'll be seeing a lot of him come this summer. I think he will spend a few months in the academy, and then he will make his way up because, of course, you know, his English is not amazing. And of course, you will have to get used to playing in the weather change and stuff. It will be summer, but you know, it will get cold at some point, so he still needs to acclimatize. It's going to be an interesting situation for that youngster. You know, he provides a very similar profile to what we paid 30 million euros for. And I think, you know, they will complement each other well and they will battle well for that left wing back role because that young brother is very physical, very quick, and he's good on the ball as well. So we'll see how it goes. You know what I mean, in terms of Marcus Rashford and Mathys Tel, like for like situation, I think a young man shows more, you know what I mean, he has a good head on his shoulders and a good team around him. He's not rushing into a decision, and as much as, you know, I'm excited to see him come into Manchester United, it's going to be some time before we get a final solution in the next couple hours. You know, there are lots of reports that, you know, he's very open to the move. Manchester United have made a second approach to the player, and it's very possible that he could be coming in. We could be having confirmation on this in the next coming hours because the second deal is done. And of course, you know, there were reports that if Rashford moved on, we would certainly be in and expectant of Tel coming in as a replacement. Of course, Garnacho is set to remain at the club, of course, guys. You know, as you know, Garnacho was supposed to be leaving. Man United gave a 48-hour deadline for clubs to come in with serious inquiries or bids so that they could negotiate before deadline day and make sure to have a replacement. And apparently this was not to fruition. But of course, we know that the young winger was rebuffing all approaches unless Man United accepted formally a bid for him, then he would have spoken with the parties involved. So it's one of those things where I feel like, we need to get it right around the youngster. Whether you want him to leave or not, he has shown great respect to Manchester United in the time that he was here and how he conducted himself in dealing with the business of this transfer window. I hope we have scouts present at the Under-20 South American Cup. Few Argentinian players like Ian Subadal, left wing Acuna, CM look good. Beat on Wesley for thing look really good. Big up to GB in the building. I am well, bro. I hope you are well as well. Big up to Rio Ferdinand in the building, says great one. You know what I mean? I think South America has a lot of interesting profiles. There's a lot of interesting players, not just at Argentina, but at the Colombian Under-20 team. There's an interesting couple midfielders and a striker in that squad. Richard Rios also plays for that team as well. It's very interesting the various types of talented players it has in South America right now. I'm not a huge fan of the Argentinian national team, so I would do my scouting pretty much everywhere, and then I would always check there as well, because you get talent there, but it's not my favorite place, if you know what I mean. But at the same time, I think this market is proving to be a silent one for ManUtd so far. We did see some players go out on loan. Of course, Marcus Rashford is next up on that list, but not really any major situations or major defining moments in this window that gave us a sign of huge change coming to the club. Even Marcus Rashford going on loan is a bit of a prelude to what could happen in the summer and not what has happened, if you know what I mean. And I think that it's still a step in the right direction. I just hope that they could have done better in this window for me, but we still have 2 days left. There's still time for big.
One thing I'll say though, right? Obviously Tel's coming in. Well, it looks like he's set to come in, and it will be interesting because even though I look at him as a youngster and whatnot, Tel might have other ideas. He might look at himself as a big man. You remember when you was that age, and you thought, I'm a big man today. I feel strong and all this. So he might be looking at Garnacho and he might be thinking, I'm better than this guy. This guy can't start ahead of me. So he might be doing everything in his power to usurp Alejandro Garnacho, because he's looking at him as something sweet, somebody who maybe can't pass, somebody who maybe can't thread through balls, somebody who maybe can't beat his man, somebody who maybe can't find the top corner or the bottom corner or wherever the ball needs to go in order for it to fly past the keeper. So that's going to be an interesting battle of wits. Competition for places is what I want, and Rashford has had a hell of an easy time, at Manchester United. But then once Alejandro Garnacho started to actually play some football, it's not like Rashford was providing competition for him then. He started to have an easy time now. And nobody was kind of challenging Garnacho for his place up until the manager decided that he's just going to drop him. So now the manager's giving him a bit more game time. You got this guy looking like he's coming in on deadline day, highly rated French youngster, 19 years old, a lot of pace, a bit of trickery. He's got a finishing side of him, and he's good at ghosting in behind the fences, and he knows how to finish. Probably a slightly better finisher than Garnacho, maybe a slightly better dribbler. The only thing I might think is that maybe Garnacho might be a bit more stronger. I don't know. We have to see, because he does look a bit slight and he is coming to the Premier League. So good luck to this youngster. And hopefully he can provide the added competition, even if he has to. I hear he can play across the whole attacking line. So hopefully he can provide competition for everyone there, really. Hopefully nobody's safe if he comes in. But then also, one thing I actually wanted to add as well is, are we going to do a loan with an obligation to buy, or is it a straight loan? Because one thing is I don't like the idea of developing a 19-year-old only to send him back to go and play for Bayern Munich with his tail up, thinking that he's going to start starting for them. So that's my only sort of thing. So yeah, he can come to Man United and provide competition, but are we retaining him after the fact, or is he looking to go back to Bavaria and do Bavarian things? But yeah, big up all the Germans in the chat. Yeah, like at the end of the day, yeah, I can't wait until we rematch Bayern München and we give them a slapping. Yeah, because we owe them a slapping. It was Onana that messed us up the last time. Yeah, this time around, maybe we might have Bayunda in goal, and then you man are definitely going to be in trouble. But yeah, big
I
up
tell man
everyone
them
in the
already,
chat.
bro. Like yesterday, man. I know I was going on the hype train, but this is one thing I want to explain. Box J, I get you guys, you know, get rid of the, you know what I mean, those players that go on loan, what fees you would take from him. The only thing I would tell you is that you see this, you're making a crucial mistake here with the Anthony 25 mil. 25 mil at a loss of 70 million pounds. Wipes out any bonus that 25 million in cash and Rashford 25 million would bring to the club. In fact, it would put us in a negative 20 to 30 million in debt added to the current FFP. So while I would sell Anthony, I largely hope and pray 45 million is the cutoff point, because then, you know, the checks and balances, profit and losses are minimized to a huge extent, because we don't already see that this club is not really in to push FFP or push the values in any way. In fact, they're trying to stay under it with considerable headroom. You know what I'm saying? I understand that, bro, but realistically, I just saying, if we want to have a 200-300 million spend in this summer window, we can't afford to have a minus 70 million on the head top from just one player, because it's gonna have minuses from Casemiro in the tune of 30 million plus. It have minuses for a lot of players, and from what I've been hearing, there's very large possibility that Mason Mount could be moving on as well. That's another minus of 30 million possibly again to be had. So we already in the minus 130 million if you want to do the maths like that. So think about it. 130 million minus from a possible 200 to 300 million headroom. That leaves us with very little wiggle room, because we already know we would like to sell to buy. So you understand, we had to sell 130 million before we spend.
Do you know what I think they're doing now? Now I'm starting to understand this a bit more. They're trying to ship out their mistakes, take the loss, but then how they're rectifying the loss is bringing in a super young player that is probably going to cost little to nothing, somebody with immense potential, and then we might just build them up and then sell them for a lot of money. I think that's just going to be the model for a little while now, to just correct the balance in the team, unfortunately. So the whole idea that, oh, cool, we're not selling Garnacho now, maybe down the line we build him up a bit more and then get him gone for the most amount of money that we can get him for. Because at the end of the day, maybe that 60 million that people are flirting with, maybe the club doesn't really want that. Maybe ultimately the club want north of 80 to 90 mil, and they were just trying to see who's going to go as high as what. And maybe if they could potentially start a bidding war for him. But at the moment, you saw Chelsea came in. You saw that the Italian club Napoli was looking to come in, and maybe they were arguing over what price they're going to go up to and whatnot, and it wasn't really satisfactory for Manchester United. And cool, Garnacho survives for now, but I think his days are not far off being numbered.
Exactly.
Personally.
Have a lot of young players' days not far from being numbered at Manchester United, broski, and that's a fact. I mean, I'm not just saying that. I being totally realistic when I say that. And that's because when I look at the negatives and I look at the wages and I look at the situations when it comes to, bro, like, to be fair, I had to go and research all this madness, bro, because I really didn't understand it. And I didn't really want to, but just so that I don't be chatting madness now. You know, I went and researched all of these things and check it out. And I look at the academy, bro, and I looking at the drastic change. And we have lots. Remember, we always talk about the amazing talent we have coming out of the academy. Well, brother, take a good look at them, you know, because I think half, if not three-quarters of those brothers will not be here come next season. Because I think we're going to use at least 10 to 12 of those brothers to bolster transfers. And when I say transfers, to bring funds into the club to help with the debt and FFP and all these things. And if I look at an average of 15 to 20 million by 12 players, bro, that's an easy 230 million in the bank. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I wouldn't put it past Man United right now, because the way Sir Jim and them talking, it just clearing me up to the point where it's possible that we could be in for a fire sale with the youngsters, because the under 18s are the ones who playing the 3-4-2-1 system. The under 21s are still playing 4-3-3, which kind of signal to me that, hey, maybe these brothers are surplus to requirements. Some of them, not all of them, you know, but most of them. That's just how I look at it, you know. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of interesting things. And what's really interesting, and bro, it's not concerning, but definitely Africa stand up, because Manchester United are pursuing a last-minute deal for Atalanta striker El Bilal Toure. Interesting deal. You know, I'm not the biggest in the know above this player, but I've seen him, and he is a powerful player. He's quick. He has some size on him. He has some ability, but he's raw. He's 23 years old. You know, he's currently on loan at Stuttgart, and they're considering activating the option to buy him for 18 million before selling him to suitors for 25 million. You know, weighing with three goals and assists in 17 appearances, he has tallied 3 goals and assists in 13 games in the German top flight, and is currently on an injury on silence after sustaining a metatarsal fracture last November. I had one of those guys, so you know, for me, I definitely would be considering this guy unless he fully recovers. Of course, the technology now is different, so we'll see how it goes. His top speed is 20.98 miles per hour. It puts him across one of the fastest that will be coming into the Premier League. Now, the strong Mali international has the potential to become a constant nightmare for defenders. Working with Amram could bring out the best of him. And like I said, Africa stand up, because this is a third Malian player that we are linked to. You know, we are linked to also Dogoris, the winger, the left wing back as well. He's also a Malian international, and we already have Sekou Kone at the club. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. That's going to be very interesting. And big up to my brethren Zik in the building. Zeke, what's going on, broski? You know, I know you had to come in and have your say.
Yeah,
I know you probably wasn't ready to come in, but I was like, you know, I see you in the comments talking about the player. And before we go, you know, you could have your say, bro. Big up to you for joining.
Yes,
and I just brought this so you guys could, if you guys know about him, it's just some, you know, perspective information that I know that it's very concrete. We are looking at this guy. He is injured. I have seen him play a few times. He is decent, but I wouldn't, you know, I'm looking at a more experienced striker, to be fair.
For sure. Nah, man. I just, first of all, I was watching the whole show. I was just busy doing some stuff, but yeah, nah, man. Listen, Tel coming in. This is a dream. This is a dream for all my Football Manager fans out there. If you play Football Manager, Tel is a dream. It's a dream, bro. And like, honestly, like, if they were able to pull this off, that's not to say that I'll forgive all of Ineos's sins, but if they would have pulled this off with Rashford going out the door and a younger French enthusiastic player coming in through the door, that's fantastic business. That's awesome business. I also heard today that Malacia is obviously could be on his way to Benfica. Apparently that deal's agreed. They're just waiting for the final bits and pieces. I'm not happy that Rashford may be going to a Premier League team, but at the same time, if that means that we could possibly bring in Tel on some sort of option to buy, I don't think obligation would be the right way to go, only because we don't know what our summer budget is looking like, as you said, Mark, before. So with the fact that we'll have to get rid of some players, I'm sure before we can, I mean, obviously getting Casemiro's wages off the books, Lindelof's wages off the books, because they'll go for free. Obviously, I know United are trying to procure some money before they leave, but I don't think that's going to happen. So getting them off the books would be big for us, and that will free up some PSR room in terms of wages. So hopefully that'll free up some room in terms of finances to spend on players. But an option to buy with like a fixed fee, I think if the player wants to leave Bayern Munich, an option to buy with like 50, 60, maybe 70 million with like some in terms of like installments, how we would pay that would be great. I know the club and Sir Jim Radcliffe don't want to add to like the 331 million pounds of transfer debt that we're in currently. That is, don't get scared, United fans. That's consolidated all together. It's not like extra on top of like the other debt, but it's all within that debt. Obviously, that I'm sure they don't want to add to that, but it'd be good to kind of see, because obviously we're seeing now that United are moving early for the summer moves for Quinda from Sporting Lisbon, who has played right wing back for Ruben Amorim at Sporting, which listen, let me tell you now, if that happens along with Ahmad on that in that 10 role as well, and those two together could be scary down that right-hand side. That could just be nasty. And then you have obviously Drogu coming today, whether that be Ahmad, whether that be Kobe in that role in front of him, or even Mathys Tel. Look, man, we could be cooking. That's not me saying, because I don't want everybody to do this. Oh, we're gonna win the league. Listen, none of that. None of that. We're gonna win the league, win the Champions League, all that. I don't want to even hear that. But in terms of players who are exciting, get you off your seat when you go to Old Trafford. I love sitting in the Stretford Inn when I go, and I've been going for years. And when you see, I've seen Ronaldo. You know, when Ronaldo broke on the scene at United, and he was just step overs. It was exciting. He picked up the ball. He's beating players. He's being exciting. It gets you off your seat. So when you see the likes of these styles of players coming in who can beat their men or add that level of excitement, I know that we thought we were getting this when we had the trio of Martial, Rashford, and Mason Greenwood. And then, you know, you add Jadon Sancho to that and you think, oh my God, we're really cooking. If we can get these four players cooking, oh my God, we're different gravy. And unfortunately, through unforeseen circumstances, how the club is, how the players were, the attitudes, this, that, and the third, it didn't work out. If we can bring about the second coming of that now with Ahmad, Quinda possibly, Mathys Tel, Garnacho, Kobe Mainu, who looked fantastic in that 10 role, and Drogu as well, in those wide areas and in those 10 areas, we could be in for something very special. And things to come for years to come as well. It's not just, these are young players. These are guys who will be around for at least the next 5 to 6 years. I don't think United will all of a sudden become a selling club, but obviously you never know. Clubs will come in and be like, oh, I really like that Drogu kid. You know, we'll give you 100 million pounds, you know, whatever the case may be. So it's good. It's profit. It's good money. But that's the way we need to start thinking going forward. And this is just exciting to see, even if it doesn't happen, just to put a pin in it. Even if it doesn't happen, even if Rashford does go to Villa and we can't get the Mathys Tel thing done, the fact that that's the conversations that we're having is exciting in itself, because it's allowing us to see what direction we're going in. We've already brought in the kid from Paraguay as well. So he'll come in the summer. He'll be 18, I think, by the time he gets into the club. Hopefully that signals the end of Luke Shaw. I respect Luke Shaw, I do, but he's just not dependable. And at this point in time, we need to move forward. So hope Malacia going on loan is probably a good thing. We might be able to recoup some of the money we spent on him, or maybe get a little bit more if he does well on loan. So that'd be good. I feel sorry for Malacia. Honestly, bad injury. Just hasn't been able to really, hasn't recovered from that just now, come back in the team. He needs football, and Almer needs wins. So it's hard to kind of put Malacia in every single team if things are not going 100% well at this point in time. So hopefully he can still have a great career, but obviously somewhere else. So there is some light. There is some light. And that's the beautiful thing right now. There's some light at the end of the tunnel. And at the end of the storm that, you know, Almer predicted that would come, i.e. the defeats and the things that have happened. I'm not saying that we're going to go on and, you know, just win games the rest of the season. I still see a lot of holes in the game, but that comes down to personnel and getting the right personnel in. Mark, obviously you mentioned strikers. I can see, obviously we have Toure here, but again, I'm with you. Unknown, just not, I think we need a staple, you know, somebody who's going to come in and not necessarily just be guaranteed goals, but in terms of style and in terms of helping the team grow and get better game by game. That's what's important to me. And then the goals will come. And right now, I like Xerxes' game because he holds up the ball, he brings players into play. Hojlund works really hard, but his touch is horrible. If you married those two players together, you'd have the perfect striker.
Probably.
But the reality is that they're both good for different reasons, but it's not the reasons that we need currently right now as it stands. So I think we're gonna need center backs because he plays through at the back. So I can't imagine the summer goes without one or two center backs coming in. I think we're gonna need midfielders. This is a big summer because the formation dictates that we change everything in terms of transfer strategy, the type of player you're going for. If Kobe Mainoo's more of and I'm not saying he can't later on go into that midfield role, but let's say for right now, that 10 role seems to be more so where he can excel, then you got a lot of players to play that role. If you're going to sell Mason Mount or Mason Mount's going to go on loan or whatever, that'd be great because effectively he's not been used. I know Almiron said he loves him, he likes him, he can play multitude of positions, but we haven't seen Mason Mount in Manchester United shirt for longer than 60 minutes. So it's probably time for him to go somewhere else. If Leicester don't go down and Rude stays there, maybe that's a move for us there for him to go somewhere like that. That's a good link having Rude over there now because he'll definitely want to take players that we're not able to kind of get the best out of, and they can go there. So yeah, hopefully that's a good move. But yeah, man, I'm geeked for the Mathys Tel thing, man. Like if that can, I've watched this guy play a bunch of times for Bayern Munich when he has been able to play, and yeah, man, exciting player. Like
I see him a few times, not as nearly as much as you or the great one, but what I see in those few moments I saw him, I was very impressed. You know what I mean?
Player, man.
And sometimes
he reads the game well. He reads the game well as an attacker. He knows what he's doing. He's confident. He wants to be this player. Obviously, these things change. You come to the Premier League, it's gonna be a little more difficult. It's gonna be an adjustment period. But if he can come in and be given, because obviously Garnacho's ahead of him right now. That's just going to be the facts of the case. And Garnacho's played well in the last couple of games. I'm not going to say he hasn't. But obviously, if Mathys Tel is going to come in, he can also play up front. That gives you another option there. He can also play off the other side. You can rest Ahmad a little bit more, not depend on Ahmad so much to get you goals or create things for you. It gives Bruno another target to hit. That's another thing, and also, he's a good link player, something that we haven't seen a lot of at United in recent years, because the other night, I think when we scored the goal, I think it's Kobe Mainoo's goal. I said, look at the 1-2s. I think we scored the offside goal against, who did we play before that? We scored the offside goal. Was it Kobe Mainoo who scored, I think, or someone scored? It was offside.
No, it was Ahmad. It was Ahmad.
Yeah, Ahmad scored. Look, that little those little 1-2s, little back hills, little, those little triangles, creating those little moments around the box. That's what wins games. When you see City, and I hate to compare it, but it's the facts. Pep creates triangles, squares. He creates these angles where it's hard to defend because it's so quick. It's 1 and 2 touch stuff. And when you can't defend against that, you create openings and you score goals. Everyone's going to get opportunities to score. So Mathys Tel is another link player. He likes to play 1-2s. He likes to get around players, and that's important for us right now.
Another reason why I'm excited for him too, because of Bruno. Giving Bruno a target Bruno would love to have.
Yeah,
Bruno love mobile targets who enthusiastic.
Yeah,
who's take the look for moments to make a break and thing. Bruno like them things, and I think this also plays into our hands. He was mentioning defenders just now in the summer. And this guy definitely is one of those defenders. So I think he could slice one defender off the market, because this brother is going to be coming into our first team with the offer he received for 4 seasons. That's a professional contract. He's definitely been guaranteed that he will be training in the first team and receiving first team minutes. So I don't think that's a bad deal. I think he definitely comes in and replaces Lindelof. I would even say Johnny Evans, because there's a lot of experience. I think we need to go into the window and get someone to replace Johnny Evans with a level of experience, maybe 25, 26 years old, a guy who's done it already.
Honestly, if we can, it's a long shot right now because I know raiding Sporting is going to be like a thing this summer. But either Diamande or Inacio for me are options. Obviously, they know the manager, they know the style, they know they know what style likes to play. Obviously, with this young kid, Aiden is he's young, so it's gonna take time for him to blend in. You got Liniero there. I know we're gonna keep Harry Maguire for one more season. If we don't move Luke Shaw on, I'm sure that they're gonna try and blend him in as a center back in certain games because effectively he's played in the 3 before. I think it's important that we bring in, like you said, someone to replace Johnny Evans' experience. But even if it's not that, somebody who's going to be dominant. So, i.e., Martinez has looked good in the 3. He's had some mistakes, but he's looked good in terms of bringing the ball out of the back and playing more further forward. He's even got himself some goals. Liniero, still young, still raw talent, but you can see the talent that's there. You can see he can be something special. Mathys Tel is the unsung hero for me because he's just going about his job quietly. He's just doing what he needs to do, make tackles, headers, win things. And Harry Maguire has been fantastic as well. I think it's unfortunate. I think it shows the character of the man that he went through is what he's gone through. Captaincy taken off him, all this type of stuff. And he still shows up for work, unlike some other people that are going to Aston Villa, hopefully today. He still shows up for work and still does his job. And that shows the character of the man. Now, I'm sure he knows in the summer, there will be other defenders, so he might not play as often as he might like. And that will send him to going elsewhere after this season. But see, I know I got FMers in here because I see this comment from Danny B. Scalvini or Diamande. He plays FM.
I mean, as a Scalvini guy.
He plays FM. I know he does because Scalvini's one of my guys. He plays FM. So
no, but Scalvini's a guy I've been on to since not last November, but the last November when we was going through the injury crisis, and I was like, yo, let's go for this guy. This guy, he had the right price at that time. Atlanta was looking for something like 30 to 35 million pounds. They was willing to accept for the player. I was like, he's interesting. He reminds me a lot of Alessandro Nesta. I used to watch a lot of Milan as well. So I was like immediately drawn to this player. And I was like, bro, this guy is very good. You know, but he had an injury leading up to the Euros that took him out of the market because United would have he was our main target for defense, for centre back. He would have been a Man United player by now. But because of that injury, we didn't go in for him again. He's been having a long time off, getting back into Atlanta team. You know, they're playing him sparingly, returning from injury. It would be nice for us to go for him still, in my opinion. But, you know, I can't ignore Diamande, and I also was a huge fan of Ignacio. So,
do you think because they've gone for a cheap centre-back option, left-footed, so does that kind of spell the end of Ignacio? Because I don't really look at getting Ignacio, then having this kid, telling him he's going to play first-team football or be a part of the setup, then having Licha, unless they just don't trust Licha's maybe his injury record or whatnot.
I think what it is that when we look at this kid from Arsenal, we have to be honest. Liniero is probably the only player that we've brought in at a young age, 18 or what have you, that was definitely guaranteed to play or guaranteed to start. When we brought in Chibo Martin from Arsenal, they were saying he's the third option as a striker. We haven't seen him yet. So that tells me that, you know, they know that he still needs to develop. With this kid coming in, I'd imagine it's somewhat of the same thing as Chibo Martin. He'll come in, and yes, he'll train with the first team, and yes, he'll learn that side of it. But I think they'll want to see him play more and develop more and learn the game more, because I'm sure next season, it's not happening right now, but I'm sure in the summer, we're going to see a change in the academy as well. We're going to see the idea that that Ruben Amorim wants throughout the whole club. It's not going to just be, oh, we play this way and then the academy do what they want. No, everybody plays this way until a certain age group, and then we move from there. So I imagine that's going to be the way it is and how it's going to go down. And so this kid will probably be blended in that way, lesser than coming straight into the first team and being a replacement for anybody at this point. I think United will go in the summer and buy at least one center back. There'll at least be one center back coming in. I don't know, obviously, who it is. We throw names out and so on and so forth. But I'd imagine that a Diamande or someone along those lines will come into the club, because you're playing three at the back. Effectively, you're losing two center backs in the summer. What do we have now? If we said just center backs, what's Licha, Delit, Yarrow, Maguire, Evans, Lindelof. So that's six in itself. If you lose two, you got to replace them. Maybe this kid's one, and then you go get another one.
So what's a realistic summer for you? Because obviously you mentioned Diamande. If he comes in, I'm not gonna lie to you. as much as I always say, let's get experienced players. If we go get this guy, I'm gonna be gassed because I seen him play. I know he's extremely good. So,
I think for
what would be
me,
your perspective?
so I think for me this summer, it's very position focused, because now the formation is extremely position focused. If you're playing a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 or something like that, you get different players to play different roles. But at this particular moment, I think we have to look at a center back. So Diamante will be my choice at this point in time. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, or I believe we're even looking at him, but that would be my choice. One center back in. I think we're going to need midfielder. I don't actually have a name for that. I do think we're going to need a center midfielder. That much is clear. If you can bring in Quinda and Tel has an option to buy and we can afford it, I'm with those two options. A striker is definitely on the list for me. Who that is, again, people are going to say Gyökeres or what have you. Quietly, and I'm gonna be very, very quiet, and it's gonna cost us, and we're gonna have to sell one. If we got rid of either Xerxes or Hojlund, if that was to happen, quietly, as quiet as it's kept, there's a kid, not much of a kid anymore, but there's a guy over in Leipzig, goes by the name of Benjamin Sesko. I've been chasing Benjamin Sesko since he was like young. I've been like, we need to get onto this guy. Even before Hojlund really bust and everyone was like, Hojlund. I was like, this Sesko kid's decent. I'll take a shot at him. And I feel like if United really want to be taken seriously, we don't go get Gyökeres because age profile. I know he knows the manager, so it's a different thing. But for me, if we can, it's a dream. And I'm a realistic guy. It's a dream. But Benjamin Sesko in a United shirt, and at that point, we're jugging. like we're outside. Like, if you can do that, but it's going to cost us 70-odd million. So I don't think it's possible. But
Euros,
if you
right?
do the creative accounting, yeah, I'm down with it.
I mean, if they could get it done. I second the notion with Sesko. I've been wanting Sesko for time. I find that we messed up last summer. We should have just buy Sesko and finish. Pick up. See, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I don't know what your thoughts are, Bali. There's a lot of interesting players being linked to Manchester United in this current transfer window. Man United are, currently linked to a lot of interesting players. Ilanga having assists today. All sorts of things going off in the whole market. And what is this January window? Of course, we could only, put players out there, different players that we think might be interesting deals that Man United could be doing. But of course, the reality is that as if Man United will actually do those deals. Of course, there's only 48 hours really left in the market. Today is almost finished. I don't think much will happen other than verbal agreements, if at all, and then paperwork to go through until Monday midnight. I believe it's between 11 p.m. and midnight is when the transfer window closes officially for the UK.
I think Rashford would be done by tomorrow. I think
Rashford will be done by tonight, bro. To be honest,
I think for the ultimate part, Rashford will be done, and then I think United will already have Mathys Tel's agent saying, listen, we just need to get this guy out the door. We got Malacia going out the door. So once that's done, send him. Bayern Munich, apparently, from what Plenty Goal was saying, has already got the offer on paper. And they've offered, and I imagine when you say they're reviewing it, it doesn't take much. As long as it ticks all the boxes you want, you're going to say, cool. Obviously, he turned down Spurs. I haven't heard much from Arsenal. They're desperate to get a striker in. I don't think Chelsea. I think Chelsea are more so like, can we get João Felix out the door before we bring him in? United are kind of already in the mix to get the players out we need to get out. And as long as we move swiftly and we have a good connection with the agent in terms of he knows, look, just give us a minute. Once this guy's in a Villa shirt, we're going to bring him in. Once that happens, we're in a good place. I don't see anything else happening. I think that'll be the two that come in. It'll be, if Tel does come in, it'll be Drogu and Tel. And then United will probably move to try and tie up an agreement with Sporting Quinda before we get to the summer, because we know that he's a sought-after talent. So they'll try and tie that up. And I think he'll pick us just because of Ruben anyway. And then it's just about the other positions. And it's about cost. Like you said, Mark, if we move the right amount of players in the right time and make the right amount of money, i.e. Anthony and so on and so forth, then we might, I know right now from what financiers are saying, United could prospectively have 170 in the summer to spend. Now we know that's not enough. We know for what needs to happen, we need to probably bring in 4 to 5 players. And I would say 5 because obviously you're going to need backup or whatever the case may be. I don't see us selling Garnacho. I don't. I see Rashford getting sold. I think the pennies drop with Garnacho with this manager, and he understands. And I think they have the relationship is developed now. I think when he got left out of the City game, Garnacho was a little petulant and said, "Nah, I want to go." And he had those conversations. But I also think that he understands the grass isn't always greener. And unless you're going to get your super move to a Madrid or a Barcelona, do you really want to go to Chelsea? I mean, Jaden's there already. Pedro Neto's there already. They've got ManUtd. Like, what side are you playing on? And who's your competition? Right now, you've got some level of credit in the bank with us at United, where you're going to get game time and you're going to develop. And I think he understands where the manager's coming from now. Listen, I need you to work harder. It's that simple. I need you to be more responsible. And Rashford's kind of been the guy where he's like, look, you've had your chance. I'm not going backwards on this. You will be moved on. And it's good that Rashford's going on loan because if he can discover some form, it's going to keep the price up.
It's going to be interesting.
Whether Rashford stays at
latest breaking news on Tel in the last 5 minutes. Christian Falk, of course, that's one of the top Bayern insiders. He has been saying this. Move to Manchester United appeals to Mathys Tel. There's still no agreement yet between Bayern and United. We have not offered as much as for a permanent transfer, but there's still room for the loan with obligation. The buy clubs are still in talks. So for me, like, to end on a better note, on the note that, we started the show off with, this deal is clearly a deal that Man United see that they would like to do, is a player that they're clearly interested in. The manager has to clearly admire this player as well. And of course, what I can say of Man United in the last transfer situations, we have not approached any players that we did not determine that we could get the deal done, especially sending in second bids. So I would say we could expect this deal to get done over the following weekend. I believe Rashford deal will probably be done by tonight. He's an English player. He could drive right down to Birmingham to do the. I'm being real, bro. The fact that he's coming from England to England it makes it like that. Yeah. It's just a medical to really be done. Club say okay, and deal is done. There's no the conversion of cash in this deal. So it's pounds to pounds. So you know what I mean? It is what it is. It should happen quickly. And I mean, again, guys, we're not trying to say that Rashford is garbage. He's just not performing at the levels that we expect for a Manchester United player in this current time. And that is the facts. No one can deny it. No one is saying that he's terrible, but he's just not that guy. You know what I mean?
It's time for him to go, man. It's just time for him to go.
It's that time. So guys.
Yeah. Say what you're saying.
Go ahead, bro.
I just wanted to touch on Kwenda quickly and maybe a few others. But Kwenda, the way I'm looking at Kwenda is they've given him, I always talk about when you give a player the shirt. And in Sporting, they've given him the shirt. So if we buy him for like 35, 40 million, I'm looking at him as a player that's already got the shirt from wherever he was. So regardless of whether he's 17 or 18, I'm going to judge him like he's an experienced talent. This is a boy that's already won the league where he's already at. And I've actually seen him put in multiple good performances. I know he's not the finished article, but as a wing-back in Amarin's system, he knows how to thrive. So, yeah, I'll definitely be looking forward to seeing a player like that walk through the door because I know he's not far off being the finished article. Like, he's a very good dribbler. He's very strong, very quick. He's very smart, actually. Very, very intelligent player. So I'm looking forward to that guy coming in. Pedro Leon as well. Looking forward to him coming in. I don't really know whether he's going to be back up to Drogu, or whether they're going to be, I don't know, fighting for places, or whether they're going to try and send him out on loan to gain experience. I'm not quite sure what the situation is there, but obviously when you start looking at what Manchester United is doing with Aiden Heaven, you start thinking to yourself, rah, we're going super young. So then you go back to the comment that Sir Jim made when he said, if you look at Manchester United and you see how much we've spent, but if you look at Real Madrid, they've got so many players in their team, so many young players in their team. And when you look at the valuations of these players, they got multiple players that are worth 100 mil or more. So I think that's the sort of route that we seem to be going down in terms of getting these young players in, bringing them up to a certain level, and then hoping that we've got a team of 5 or 6 players that are worth at least 100 million or more. But then when a guy like Sir Jim makes that sort of statement, what do you think he's trying to say? Do you think he's trying to say once we have all these 100 million worth players, is he looking to sell them? Like what?
No,
Why do you care if
think
your
what he's
players are
saying.
100 million worth?
So I think what he's saying is you got to look at players as assets, right? So if let's say for argument's sake, Quinda comes in for 50, yeah. Over that time, if Quinda plays really well and his assessment goes up, United win trophies, he could be 160, right? So it shows value for money at a young age. And the fact is that then if Real Madrid did come in, like for instance, let's say Real Madrid were actually interested in Marcus Rashford, they wouldn't be interested in going any further than like probably 70 million pounds, right? And that's more so about the name than it is about the talent or his ability at this current stage. So I think what he's saying, I think what he's trying to say there is Real Madrid has spent less money than us, but their players are valued more, which goes to show that the environment's good, the coaching is good, the players are responding, and they're winning trophies. And that value comes from those things. So if you're winning trophies and you're doing well, those young players that you have, like Real Madrid do have, like someone who, like Endrick's what, 18? Ardagula, 18. You have these players who are at Real Madrid for decent transfer fees, but now since they've gone to Real Madrid because of what Real Madrid have done, they're worth 100 million pounds. And it shows that the club is in a healthy financial situation. So let's say when Ronaldo came in, he came for 12.8 million. When Ronaldo left, he left for 80. That's where United were. But we've lost our way along that time and after that time. And so Wayne Rooney stayed at United for a very long time, but let's say Wayne Rooney wanted to leave, you're looking at a 100 million pound player. If he wanted to leave in his prime, that could be 100 million pounds right there. So you want to know that if you did fall out with a player like a Marcus Rashford, that you're going to get 100 million pounds. You're not going to get 60 million pounds. And so if tomorrow Vinny Jr. decided, I want a new challenge and I don't like Real Madrid anymore, which he never will, but if he decided that, the price would be astronomical. Versus if Garnacho decides that tomorrow, it's basic. And that's the ultimate difference, is having a team that has value, even though transfer value right now, we have value, but the players don't actually match the value. And then that puts the club in a bad place financially because we spent billions of pounds on these players who are not actually performing up to the level of value that we put out. So you need your players to kind of be at these prices. You need your players to kind of perform to the level, because someone like De Ligt is probably only, what do we pay, 45? If United were to win the Champions League and Premier League in the time that De Ligt was in the team and do it multiple times or other trophies multiple times, De Ligt's price goes from 45 to like 70. And that's especially if he's playing in the team consistently. So that's what you need over time. You need, and I think he also said in that quote as well, was, there's no point in buying Mbappe when we can make the next one. And so it's about making the academy better. It's about getting the right value for your players and not overspending when you do spend on players, and not overspending on wages. If you look at Drogu's wages, his 5-year contract, for 4 of the 5, he's on 30 grand a week. When he gets to the 5th year, it's going to go up to 50K. When he goes to, if he's done really well and he renegotiates, United could turn around and say, okay, cool, we'll give you 80. It's not 120 or 200K. And that's the type of deals we should be doing. Quinda will come in and probably be on 30K. Mathys Tel will come in and whatever he's on at Bayern, which I'm sure is not a lot. It's not like a ridiculous amount. He's only going to be probably like another 10 to 15 to 20K above that playing at Manchester United. And so you have to create incentive. And that's what our players haven't had for a long time because they're all making stupid money. Rashford got too much too soon. There's no incentive to do better.
100%.
There's no incentive to do better. If I'm making 300 and let's say I'm making just 300K flat and then like goals, appearances, all that type of stuff. Let's say ultimately it comes up to 350K a week, right? What's his incentive? Because even if I don't match my incentives, I'm still getting 300K a week, which after tax is like 200 something. Like, so what are my incentives? What am I playing for? And then I get the flashy cars. Most of that stuff is free. The clothes, all that stuff is free. Like what am I incentivizing? So you have to incentivize players to keep the mentality to keep doing better. Because the next contract you might get to 300K, but you don't walk in on 300K.
Bro, not even that, but look at Quenda performances on 9K. Victor Gyökeres bagging 30 plus goals a season on 40K. And it's a certain man in we team done earning 90 and thing. And he didn't bag 40 goals yet. Yeah. Done getting 90. You know what I mean?
This is the thing. When you spend that type of money on wages and on transfers, it signals to other agents that I can go binge United over.
Exactly.
And you have to stop that narrative. It's
exactly. Like, bro, anybody under 20, unless you're sensational. When I say sensational, they land like fucking Ronaldo in season 2 or Messi in season 2. Not 1, because I mean season 1, season 3. As a matter of fact, his best season for me was season 3. After that, the other best season I would say was the one where he scored 90 goals. I was thinking it was season 5 or 6 or something. But in season 3, he didn't win the La Liga. But in that season, he landed. He was like, yo, I am here. You know what I mean?
That's the thing.
So, I when man them supposed to be getting more than 100K a week, bro. Because I am here.
I can understand if you're paying Hojlund the money you're paying him. And I understand the money you're paying Mbappe. I understand Vinny Jr. I understand Salah feeling the way he feels because he should probably be on the same.
Bro.
Rashford shouldn't be getting anywhere near what these guys are earning.
No, bro. If nobody at Man United should be getting
nobody.
I mean, I could understand Bruno on 2-something a week because he, for the last 4 or 5 years, is our best player. Yeah. He kind of earned to be on the 200K a week. The 300 part, I don't really doesn't do hearing that too much, but still.
You bring in an old Casemiro who has no resale value and give him 360. Like, think about what
that's madness, bro.
No resale value.
No, respect to Casemiro, you won a lot, but when it comes to coming to United, already coming into pounds, not euros, and yeah, he should have been on 200K a week, 250. Me, I don't know, but these negotiations, whoever doing them, then bro, we need to fire all of them. Fire from captain to cook, everything.
Sancho was on 300K coming in.
Bro, Sancho was on 375. What are you talking about? 300K?
Coming in the door.
Coming in the door on 375. The only reason he was on less was because he had the same 25% drop that everybody have. But his one was bigger because he had a lot of add-ons. His add-ons was 125K add-ons.
Imagine you got, argument's sake, Ahmad in the club, yeah? And Sancho comes in on 375. Now, obviously, Sancho has a little more clout than he does. But Sancho's not performing. Ahmad's performing. Imagine Sancho still at Manchester United. Ahmad's next contract negotiations and be like, whoa. This guy over here is making this much. I'm playing way better than him.
I hear that, but...
That create no, it shouldn't be that way. But what I'm saying is that if we think that players don't talk about their wages in the dressing room, we're killing ourselves now. These players are obviously knowing what each other are on. They obviously go in there with that negotiation tactic. Their agents know what other players are on. So if you're signing players and you're bringing them in on these prices, when other players come in, they're going to be like, well, if Rashford's on this, if Sancho's on that, if this guy's on this, if that guy's on that, I want this. You can't.
That's why we need to get rid of them.
Exactly. You can't have a team of guys that's all on 300K a week. Your club will go bankrupt. And that's where United we're heading. Not bankruptcy, but that's where we're heading. We're heading to giving players contracts they don't deserve. So now I'm glad that maybe we're seeing a change in that. Drogu's contract, the little things were revealed there. Hopefully when other players come in this summer, some things will be revealed there. So we know that we're not paying over the odds in wages and we're not seeing the performances. We really have $1 billion team that really should only cost maybe maximum 100 million.
Also, one last thing as well. I want the club to stick to their narrative of if you're not playing well, then 2 seasons and you're
Yeah, you
done.
gotta go. You
Yeah.
gotta go.
So I want them to stick to that. Also, like now, obviously, I think me and Mark have had a back and forth about Rasmus Hojlund, and he's blamed the players in the team. I've blamed him because I just don't think he's good enough. But let's just say what Mark is saying is true as an example.
Mhm.
Yeah, now we've got wing backs. These men are meant to unlock Rasmus, and Rasmus now should fire from now to the end of the season. Really, once the kid Drogu starts playing, and then we either Ahmad plays as a wing back again or whatever, then at least he's got players that will beat men and put balls into the box for him. Now, my thing is this. I've seen multiple balls go into the box and that kid always makes the wrong run and he's never anywhere near the balls coming into the box
Yeah.
Yeah,
all
sounds
the
like the ball
time.
was the wrong ball,
I
bro.
think it's 50-50 though. And I
Nah,
agree with both.
bro.
I agree
You
No,
with
have
both
to
of
bro,
know
you.
it's
your
right,
player.
bro.
Wait,
Listen,
hold on. I agree with both of you. I do. I'm gonna say this and I have to skip, but I agree with both of you. The only thing I will say about Rasmus that I think we have to be serious on, we have to be very honest about is at 22 years old, and if you played
21.
football at any level or whatever, no matter how good you are, whatever, I played to a decent level. At 22 years old, if you're not trapping the ball and
Yeah.
keeping the ball and bringing teammates into play, and the ball's not sticking with you and it's bouncing off you and it's going X there and it's going there and it's going there, there's a problem. That can't be about your teammates. That's about you. And so, yes, there is the right ball and the wrong ball, and knowing your teammates and knowing when the ball's going to come in and so on and so forth. But Rasmus Hojlund has to improve on his basic game. His basic all-around game has to improve, because the reason
Facts.
why he's not scoring goals is not because of a teammate or because of the wrong runway. The reason why he's not scoring goals is because when the ball gets into his feet, it goes back the other way, and now the team have to all track back going the other way. The only way for players like Rasmus Hojlund or Xerxes to actually become prolific or score more goals is that we have more control of games and create more chances. But the only way for that to happen, as a caveat, is the ball has to stick. And if Rasmus Hojlund is getting the ball to his foot and is bouncing 5 yards away from him so somebody to come tackle him, that's the major issue. Because where he should be in the box when we're getting into a space of dominating games, he can't get in the box because now the ball's just off his knee, off his shoulder, off his shin, off his foot, and he's losing the ball. And so as a striker, I've played up front my whole life. As a striker, I'm not a big guy. I'm 5'9". Center backs were bigger than me. I'd have to back into them and do what I can, but the ball's stuck. They have to foul me to stop the ball sticking. You understand? And if you can't make the ball stick, you're not going to get goals. Your
True,
performance is
that's
going
a
to look
fact.
bad. And
My
that's
only
what
argument,
he is.
my only argument in his defense was when you're only receiving 33 passes into the box all season,
Yeah.
right? One, and more than 27 of them passes coming from either the middle or the left-hand side of the pitch. Something wrong.
Yeah.
Something
What I
wrong
think is
because
interesting.
we are two wingers, and 2 10s who's supposed to create for the striker. All of them
What I think
creating
is
for the
interesting. You
striker.
see the goal.
Yeah,
Last
but
I
bro,
checked,
you see one thing I'll say, yeah.
My thing is, let me finish. Because it's not about, I'm not trying to take the blame of it. I say it 50-50. Half of it is on him and half is on his teammates. Because it's a team sport. And let me be honest, like, this brother didn't come to Man United, the finished article. He come here, they say he come here to develop. And whether we pay 70, the caveat that 72 million we pay, bro, I put it aside because from the moment the higher up say he come to develop, that 72 million was based on supply and demand. Our demand and their supply. The end. So I move from that. When I look at his performances now, I listen to what Paul Scholes say 2 weeks ago, bro, and Beckham a month before. And you know what Beckham and Paul Scholes say? For Hojlund's situation currently right now at Man United, I won't just look at him, I look at the teammates around him. Because the biggest problem is they don't find him in the box. And you are paid to supply that ball to him. And when they said to him, they didn't mean You put the ball to the last post and he going first post. If
Can
he's
I ask
going
a
first
question?
post, the ball must go to first post.
Yeah,
that's
but does he make the you see Rasmus, yeah?
You see,
He
you understand what I'm trying to say. If
yeah,
I
but
running
let
on
me
the ball as a winger or attacker,
Mhm.
and Rasmus making a run, I have to look at to where he going, bro, before I
Yeah,
put the
but
ball.
I'm trying to say, yeah, that Rasmus, he has a scattergunner approach to what he's gonna do. Rasmus, in all honesty, I swear to God, I don't think he knows what he's gonna do when he sees that the attackers have got the ball and he's making his run. I don't think he knows what he wants to do. So you have to understand, yeah, somebody like Garnacho, if the ball is on his left foot, he's always going to cut the ball back on his left. He's not going to do an in-swinging cross with his left foot, right? So that's one. Then Ahmad, when Ahmad cuts inside, Ahmad's going to float the ball to the back post. So these are the things
Yeah,
that
is that right?
But here's the
no,
problem.
but
Here's
what
the
I'm
problem.
saying is about knowing your player.
Yeah,
Because
but here's
at
the
the end,
problem.
As a striker,
That is what I'm
as
saying.
a striker, and this is really the last thing because I gotta go. But as a striker, you have to understand these two principles. And I learned this young, and it's something that served me well. I can show you the golden boots. As a striker, it's this simple. When you're in the box, everything is 3 to 4 steps away from a goal. Everything. So when my winger
That's
gets the
fine.
ball, I'm 3 to 4 steps away from the ball landing where I need it to land and me striking it. And the problem is with Rasmus Hojlund is his movement is late. I will say that. That's number one. His movement is late.
I agree there.
But the thing that goes for him is the fact that our wingers are not they're forwards. They're not wingers. So when a winger thinks about putting the ball in the box today, I saw Anthony Elenga, used to be a United product, at Forest, put the ball in the box for Chris Wood. And what did Chris Wood do? Score 3 goals. Why? Because Chris Wood knows he's going to put the ball in the box. Chris Wood knows that he's 3 or 4 steps away from putting a finish header or with his foot in the back of the net. He scored a hat trick today. One of them was a penalty, but the 2 goals, I think both of them came from Anthony Elenga. The reason being is because Anthony Elenga is a winger. So when Anthony Elenga gets the ball, Anthony Elenga puts the ball in the box. When Ahmad gets the ball, he takes 2 and 3 touches. The worst thing for a striker is a winger or a forward in the wide area taking 2 and 3 touches because I can't move that much, especially with VAR now and having to think about being offside and all this. I can't move that much. So finishing is now becoming less instinctual and more position based. So now I have to think, you know what? If he takes more than 2 touches, this defender's set. If that winger or that forward, let me call him, takes more than 2 touches, now this center back is set. Anything I try to get to, he's going to get to at the same time, which makes my finish a lot more difficult. Now, if you're on a counterattack, it's a different argument because you can run in behind, the ball can come, blah, blah, blah. But if Ahmad or Garnacho get down the side and they're doing backwards and forwards, trying to get past their man, the problem I have now is how many steps is it going to take me now to trick my defender? So that 3 or 4 steps now becomes 5 or 6.
Yeah, but I think for me, it's very easy depending on who's got the ball. So, as an example, yeah, I know that Ahmad is looking to jink inside. So once he takes a couple of insteps inside onto his left, I'm darting. I'm going like I'm going near post, and I'm darting back to the back post.
But here's your problem. Hold on.
Once Garnacho is standing up his man, as soon as he's beaten that man, I might be in the middle of the goal and then act like I'm going to go to the back post, run to the edge of the box because I know he likes to cut back to the edge of the box. These are the things that I will be thinking about in my brain. But it seems like Rasmus, I promise you, these wingbacks are not going to improve. These wingbacks are going to improve in maybe 10, maybe 15%. Somebody like Xerxes, that might add like a 30-40% improvement to him. Because at the end of the day, I see Xerxes as a man that he has a problem with his finishing. But if he keeps on getting more chances, he might score a few more goals. But Rasmus has a big problem with just being alive.
I
Here's
think
the
man,
problem,
them
though.
just
When
want
you
to
have
blame
these wide
Rasmus because
forwards,
they don't see they don't see it. They just don't see it, bro.
when you
I
have
And
these
the
see his
wide
fact that they're
forwards,
finishing.
afraid to blame the actual players,
I
I'm
see
hold
gonna
his
on,
go
bro.
sides.
finishing, but I don't
Because
see him
I
as a
understand what you're
Manchester
saying, but
United
you
player.
can't tell
Here's the
me
thing, though.
that
I'm on both
Rasmus,
sides.
who's supposed to be supplied, he is the one you have to understand how this works. It's not about what Garnacho going on do, bro. It's not about what Ahmad going on do because no one cares. And the reality is, the striker is the most important player on our pitch, bro. It's what he is going to do. They are there. Their sole purpose is to supply him. Their primary focus is to supply him. That is their job. That is why we pay them. We don't pay them to drink and dribble and try to cut in and shoot. That is a byproduct when they don't have an option to give Hojlund the ball. So we're looking
And
at
that's
this
why
from
they're
the
wide
wrong
forwards.
perspective.
They're not wingers. They're wide forwards. The reality is, again, and I want to go back to what Bally said. You're right. You should be making these moves when the ball is coming in different angles and so on and so forth. If they cut back or whatever the case may be. However, a lot of the times their tendencies is to shoot. Ahmad and Garnacho, respectively. Now, Kobe Mainu, on the other hand, what we saw the other night was his tendencies is more likely to pass when he's outside the box or try to find another pass and link play. The problem that you have is that until it all kind of, you put all those ingredients in a pot and it starts to smell good, is that Rasmus Hojlund is going to suffer on the fact of whether or not, one, on his negative, keeping the ball and trapping it and bringing players into play. Two, on the positive, whether or not the players around him see him, because I see a lot of times he does make good movement and the ball doesn't come. Someone shoots instead. I think a couple of weeks ago, there was Garnacho cut inside, and he could easily square to Hojlund, but he shot, and it went over the bar. And so when you, as a striker, that's frustrating because how many times, if I got to shout at my wingers, we have a problem. That's ultimately what I'm saying. If I have to look at my wide forwards and keep saying, why do you guys keep shooting? Or why do you not see me? Because Rasmus Hojlund is what, 6'2"? Hard to miss. He's very hard to miss. If I'm standing there and I'm doing this, and this is the problem with dribbling with your head down. This is a problem with having selfishness. Because when you, the three trio in modern times that we saw is MSN. No selfishness in them. Neymar could beat three guys and then roll it to Suarez for Suarez to tap it in. Messi can go past two guys and then roll it to Neymar for Neymar to tap it in. They didn't care about they cared about winning. You see, right now, I think a lot of our players are chasing glory. Well, I'm the guy who won the game. I'm the guy who scored the goal. And so it becomes hero ball. A lot of these guys are dribbling, and trying to get a shot. Dribble, trying to get a shot. No one's looking and saying, dribble, I beat one, I beat two. Oh, Rasmus, bang, tapping. Because Rasmus could be eating on tap-ins right now. But because guys are dribbling into the box and closing space, that's another thing. When you're a winger or a wide forward and you dribble into the box, now you're killing off what I can do. Because I can't run to the near post because you killed that space. You're in that space now. I can run to the middle, I can cut back, and I can go to the back post. That's my three options. But now that you have the ball at your feet, center backs are comfortable. When center backs get comfortable with a striker and they're in touching distance, they're not worried about, because the finish becomes that much more difficult. You're taking which could, if you just put the ball in the box and you square it to me, I can take a touch, set, goal. Or when you start dribbling into the box, it's one time. I only get one
No,
chance.
but that's why I said the wing backs are supposed to unlock this guy because these are the guys that are gonna put in first time balls.
Are
So why
they?
we have
Dallo doesn't do
wingers
it.
then?
Are they? Dallo
No, but
doesn't do it right now.
I'm talking about like once, like as an example, if Drogu gets played a ball into space, you've got guys in the box. He's going to be playing first time balls. He's not going to be trying to beat guys
We
that ain't
hope.
there or
We hope.
slow down the play. And the same thing with Quenda. If Quenda is in space, guys in the box, first time ball. And for me personally, I've highlighted because I've extensively watched this guy's movement. Extensively, yeah.
Guys, I
And
have
I'm
to
not
go.
gonna
Hold on. I
say
have to go. But I hear your point. I have to skate out, but I'll be on the next one. Promise.
Big up,
Love
bro. Thanks for
everybody.
coming
big
through.
up, bro.
We will
Love, bro.
continue this another time. When you have time, let me know, bro.
Of
We have
course,
to have some debates
of
on some of these players at the close of the window and to see where we going ahead, bro.
course.
So
Listen,
thanks for coming through, bro.
we'll do a close of the window video. And
All
we can
right,
go
cool.
through
We'll
it.
be here,
Sure.
bro. We'll
All
be
right,
here.
Big up.
All right,
Big up
love,
to
guys.
Zeke in the
Love.
building, bro. Yo, Bali.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
it's a contextual concept. I mean, we do have different points of view slightly. I think it's more likely we see things slightly differently in the case of the situation. I'm definitely not saying I'm right. I'm not saying that you are wrong.
No,
I mean,
you don't get me wrong. You definitely do have a point. Let me just wrap up on what I was saying, right? I literally forgot. You man, you man done me. But yeah, just like his movement, like me personally, in regards to his movement, yeah, I've watched his movement extensively, right? And I just think, yeah, that his movement is not good enough for a top level striker, even if the ball's coming in early, because I've seen multiple times where the ball's coming in into the box, the ball's gone across the box. Rasmus could have been there for easy tapping, but he's sliding in after the ball has passed him. Yeah. So I've seen a good sample size. So not to say that he can't improve on these things because he's still young, but in my opinion, for somebody who's playing for Manchester United, regardless of your age, those type of chances, yeah, should be meat and drink at any age group. At any age group.
it should be. It
Even if
should
you're
be.
like playing under 12s football, the ball flashes across the box, you're a striker, you should be there to tap it in, not sliding in after the ball's gone.
Well,
And I see that happening all the time with him.
the problem
Even
with
under
that
Ten
too.
Hag.
Here, the thing with that, I would say, one, timing is everything. And lucky, Matthias Cunha is 26 going on 27 years old, if I'm not mistaken. As a matter of fact, I'll pull up his age one time. Because I think this brother even older than that. Matthias Cunha. This guy. Yeah, he's 25. He will be 26 in 2 months. Right? 60 million pounds. Not in a million years I would pay that for this guy, bro. Being so real. And then I would say this. I love the young talent we have, but our young striker, Chidobe Martin, bro, they will eat him alive in the Premier League. In fact, they might ruin him.
He's not ready for Premier League.
He's nowhere near ready for the Prem. Anybody watching football could tell that Chido has all the raw abilities, all the right mentality, everything. But the biggest problem is his advantage that he has been using to his great success is his size and his pace and power. When he meet guys at that size, and he play in Europe in the last couple of games, it's difficult. It's a long one. If you watch the game against Rotherham this week, it was a difficult game for him. He got that early goal, and after that, he was marked out of the game for large parts and last sections.
He struggled today against City as well. They got beat 4-0. I think that was their first
The game
defeat.
was a lot closer. It was a lot closer than the scoreline. I feel there were many moments we should have scored, and little mistakes that or someone taking too long for a pass, taking too long to shoot, that really caused us not to win that game. I thought we could have won that game, but it is what it is with that. And this is what I say with Hojlund. I mean, is a young guy, 21 years old, about to be 22, at the helm of Manchester United with a lot of big responsibility in a team that's not performing well, and he's not the finished article. And I hate to to defend him because I want to see the finished article up top leading Man United. I want to see one of the best in the world leading line at United. But this guy is not ready yet. But that don't mean he is shit. You know what I mean? And lastly, for me, my experience in football, I only play.
But then what is football. Shit though? What is shit then?
Shit if for me, if he's shit not for shit, me, bro, is a striker like Richarlison, bro. Richarlison is 26, 27 years old, and he's average garbage. He does worse than Hojlund. Sometimes his touch is worse.
Really?
Bro, listen, the problem with Hojlund, bro, a lot of people not understanding is that a lot of the problem that going through the whole squad. This new change in formation and stylistic approach to playing our back three is drastically different from what we was doing in our 4-3-3. There's no progression to be had. There's our learning curve. You start back from ground zero. You understand? And then, realistically, you have two wingers in Ahmad and Garnacho, who, the one who actually pass into you is really Garnacho, because Ahmad don't pass the ball in no games. Not in the box. In the last 7 games, Ahmad has not passed Hojlund a ball in the box as we speak. Not a cross, not a dink, not a drop-off, not a square pass, nothing. Not a true ball, nothing. Yet still, we want to know why we're not scoring goals. But I could show you pictures of moments in the last 10 games where Hojlund is in the box, in space, and if Ahmad didn't dribble and gave him the ball, he scores. And that's 10 games, bro. Yet still everybody here in the chat will be telling me, well, you know, Hojlund is garbage. Ahmad is the best thing we have in the team right now. Bro, that is one, in my opinion, he's one of the reasons we're not scoring as much goals as we should be scoring week in, week out. Because his decisions not to pass the Hojlund taken away from Man United scoring goals.
No, that's blasphemy, bro.
You could say it's blasphemy, but I really do feel like that because when I look at the heat map and games, it's looking like a fucking U-King, a horseshoe, which means our striker not getting no ball from the wings. And then we complaining he not scoring goals, he's shit. But he's supposed to get balls in the box. He has only 33 passes in the box, bro. And that is criminal. For any top player who think there's a creative player and they don't get the striker the ball more than 5-10 times a game, they are shit. In my opinion, they are shit and a waste of time in the team. Because, brother, if you are really good on the team and your only impact is in the last 50 minutes, why are you even starting any team? Why people were saying we should start you when all your impact is in the last 20 minutes of every game for the last 5-10 games, bro? Explain me this. Maybe we have to talk about this later on in our next show because I really have to go. But I really want to ask that question to everybody watching. If your only major impact in the last 10 games is in the last 20-minute games, why are you starting? Because you do nothing in the first half.
Are you talking about Ahmad?
I'm talking about all the players in the squad, bro. Any player who's starting right now, if they're not making an impact in the first 45 minutes, consistently for the last 5-10 games, why are they starting?
I think obviously I can't defend the team on that one because for me the performances haven't been good enough, even though we're on a run of victories. So I can't really defend the team on that one. But yeah, I mean, me personally, I hope that we don't go into next summer and then forget to address the striker situation so we can finally get a real striker at Old Trafford and see how strikers are meant to strike balls and create space, link up, movement, everything else. So yeah, fingers crossed we address the striker situation and then we now finally have a striker that's ready to score 30, 40, 50 goals at Old Trafford because like we got gassed of seeing a youngster score, is it like 15, 16 goals? And since then, like he's gone backwards. He's gone so far backwards. It's like he's trying to go back to his mother's womb. Like I just don't understand how far back he wants to go, bro. Now I'm hearing about his age and everything else, but it seems like he doesn't really know the basics of being a striker. But that's just how I feel about the situation. But yeah, big up to everybody in the chat. I'm just gonna let this. I'm gonna let Big Man over here talk.
Yo,
Great one. What are you saying? We come out to close.
Big up, Markin. Listen, like this guy said, Ahmad is the reason Hojlund is trash, bro. Hojlund went 16 games without scoring a goal last season. Ahmad was at Sunderland, bro. Are you going to blame that because Ahmad was at Sunderland? That's why Hojlund went 16 games without a goal, bro. This season, Ahmad did not start the season, bro.
Bro, who started this season on the right wing?
Hojlund has been trash all season.
Who started the first 17 games on the right wing, bro?
Okay. What about the other games?
Okay, what?
Did Hojlund score hat-tricks in the other games?
Brother, did he get the ball from this brother?
No. Did Hojlund score hat-tricks when he played with Andre?
Hear me. You're not hearing me. Forget the hat-trick. There's no what we pay this brother to do, bro. Listen to me carefully, bro. I about priorities. and primary functions, right? And
No,
the
no, no,
primary
listen,
functions
listen,
of
I
players
hear
in
you.
different positions
No,
on
no,
the
no, no,
football
listen,
field
Marken,
is
listen,
for
Marken.
certain things.
Let me tell you this.
What
Let
is
me
the
tell you.
primary function,
No,
bro?
no, no,
Tell
no,
me.
no. Let me tell you this. I hear you. When you say that Ahmad has been selfish of recent, yes, I've seen it. I can see that he's selfish. You get me? I can see that he's shooting too much. But you cannot say that's the reason Hojlund is not scoring, because in the start of the season, when it was under 10, Ahmad wasn't selfish. Ahmad was actually scared to shoot.
Okay, so why that change?
No. Forget about the change. Has anything changed with Hojlund when Ahmad
Yeah,
wasn't?
bro, he's not getting service, so therefore
No,
he's
he was
not
not
getting any
scoring.
chances to take
He was
shots.
not scoring when Ahmad wasn't selfish. He was not scoring. There are
But,
two things that-
but how you know that, bro?
Yeah, look at the stats.
The
He has
first
2
10
goals
games of the
conceded.
season,
Look
Hojlund
at
was
the
on
stats. That's how
was
I
on
know.
6 goals. 1 in
Those
the
are the
Prem
stats.
and 5 goals. 1 in the Prem, 4 in European competition and cups and whatnot.
Let's talk about
He
the
was
Premier
getting
League. Let's
passes
talk about
then.
the Premier League.
Since
Let's talk
then,
about the Premier
bro, I just want to highlight to you. Since then, in the last 10 games, he's received about 11 or 12 passes in the box.
Is Ahmad supposed to be the only creator? What about
No,
Bruno
but you're not
Fernandes?
hearing me.
What
I'm
about
just
Bruno
saying, bro.
Fernandes? Is
All
Bruno
of them are
Fernandes
responsible. I'm not blaming Ahmad. I'm blaming
You
all
blame
the men
Ahmad,
them
bro.
wrong him, bro.
You can't even talk about
Entirely.
you saying Garnacho
Garnacho,
passes.
Bruno, everybody are wrong. But understand what I'm trying to tell you,
Why do you have to mention Ahmad?
bro.
Why not Garnacho? Why not Mena?
Because
Why
in
not
the
Bruno?
last 5 games, when he was on the ball, there were moments, multiple moments where there was space in the box for him to pass.
How many times
And
does
instead
Bruno
of
Fernandes-
passing, he dribbled and shot into a defender or shot over or shot outside, and nothing happened. And
That's
Hojlund is
because
there
Hojland's
looking at him,
movement is
screaming at
dead,
him.
bro. That's because his movement is dead. Let me tell you.
That's
How
not
many
because
times
his
does Bruno
movement is
Fernandes-
dead. The problem is he's not able to find him. His
How many
passing
times-
range is not good enough to find him.
How many
Because he's
times?
not showing it. So therefore, this is why I'm saying
Bro,
it.
this guy is now just waffling. How many
I'm
times?
not waffling, bro. Let me
How
tell you
many
something.
times
When you're
does
playing
Bruno
the box,
Fernandes-
you have to find him. It's your job to put the ball for him, not put the ball where you
Can I
want the ball
defend
to
the
go.
guy? Like, you've been speaking, I've come in to defend my guy.
Yeah, but
Let me talk.
you're making
Let me
different.
talk.
You're changing the argument, bro.
No, let me talk.
Yeah,
Let me finish
but
the argument. Then you come.
if a
You can't
striker,
let me finish my argument. You can't let me finish.
All
I
right,
literally
finish,
said,
great.
I
Finish.
agree with you that Ahmad is not passing to him. But I say that's not the reason Hojlund is trash. That's not the reason. That's not the reason Hojlund
So what's the
gets the
reason?
ball and starts
We're
the
talking
counter
about
to
in the
opposition.
box. We're not talking about outside the box. We're talking about in the box, where he's
Yeah,
supposed
okay,
to get
yes.
the ball.
Yes, what about Bruno Fernandes? What about Garnacho? How many times has Garnacho
I
passed to
talk
Hojlund?
about them too, and I did not leave them out. Ask
You left them out.
big
You
man. I
said
called
Ahmad is the
Garnacho
reason.
name first. I called
Wait.
Bruno name as well.
Why,
But I'm
listen,
calling
you just
everybody
say right
name,
now that
King.
Ahmad is the reason Hojlund.
No,
we're
I'm
not scoring
calling
many goals.
everyone's name. But you see, the reason why I'll leave Bruno out is because Bruno is still our biggest creator in the team. Consistently.
Let me ask you this. Ahmad has more GA than Bruno, by the way. Let me ask you this.
Oh my God.
Let me ask you this.
Bro.
Let me ask you this. Should we drop Ahmad for the next?
Okay.
Should we drop
That's not
Ahmad
what we're
to make you
talking
happy?
about, but okay, continue.
Should we drop Ahmad to make you happy?
Bro, it's not about dropping him. That's not you don't understand.
But you
I don't want him
goals.
to drop. But what I would like him to do is pass the ball to the striker when he's open instead of dribbling every single time. Because this is all I've been saying in the last 10 games, bro. I don't know about you, but I've seen it.
Ahmad, let's drop him. You get me? Let's drop him.
But that's not what I'm talking about.
Then
Why are you making the argument to drop him? I'm not saying to drop the brother, bro.
My man is scoring hat-tricks and that, you get me?
Brother, I don't care if you score a hat-trick in the last 10 minutes of the game if you play 80 minutes of shit before, bro.
What about Hojlund?
I don't care about it, bro.
Let Hojlund go to the wing and
No, the problem is in the 80 minutes before, why we didn't score a goal? Answer me that question.
No,
why we didn't score a goal in the 80 minutes before?
And doesn't get the ball, he'll go to the wing, get the ball, go past 3 players and put it in a top corner. Why doesn't Hojlund do that?
When did Ahmad do that, bro?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
No, when did Ahmad do that? When did Ahmad dribble any 3 players and put the ball top corner? When did that happen? Bro, he stole the ball off our defender and score.
I'm talking about
stole the ball. He got a pass and volley it. He didn't dribble nobody, King. 2
bro,
of those balls were stolen.
Wait,
what are you talking about?
Listen to what I'm saying. I said Martial, not Ahmad.
So what are you talking about Martial for? He's not playing for United anymore, King.
He was our striker.
He was past tense. He's not playing for United right now. Different type of player.
No. I'm telling you right now. If you're not getting the ball,
bro.
Ronaldo and Martial proved you can still score.
Yeah, but what Marshall have to do it right now? He's not at Man United. This is what I'm saying.
I'm telling
We're
you,
talking
Hojlund
about
can
how we
still
do make the
score when
team
people
better,
don't pass him the
how
ball.
we
That's
improve the performances
the
of what
problem
we
is,
have right
Martin,
now,
your
how
problem
we get
is
the best
when
out
we're
of
losing
them,
an
how
argument, you
can we
just talk
score
about the
more
others.
goals? That is the question right now, currently, right? And if 2-3 men have to do 2-3 things slightly differently, and we will score more goals, wouldn't you rather have that, bro?
I would love it if we pass with our striker and he holds up the ball. I would love that.
Holding up the ball. You don't hold up the ball in the box. We're talking about in the box. We're not talking about out on the pitch.
How can
That
we have
have nothing to
sustained
do with what we're
pressure
talking
when every
about
time
right
we
now.
pass to Hojlund, it's a counter attack for the opposition?
Brother, listen to me. They don't pass to Hojlund when he's in the box, open in space, when he's making runs. He doesn't receive the ball. This is what we're talking about. We're not talking about in the middle of the field. When we kick the ball out and he had to hold up the ball in them moments. With them moments, he failing. We're not taking that away from him. But
Yeah,
in
but
the
you can't just
moment
gloss over
when
that
he's
moment.
supposed
Let's
to
talk about
shine,
those moments. Why are you glossing over it? Let's talk about let's
okay,
forget about the
so all
box.
right, we will
Let's
never
talk
get
about
to the
them
reason why we
a
will
Man
never
United
have a
player, a
striker
Premier
be
League player.
successful at United. This is what you
Nah,
want to do.
bro.
You want to talk
A
about in the
Premier League player
midfield.
can't hold up the ball. Is that what you're telling me? He can't
Bro,
hold up
not
the ball.
all. No, first of all, bro,
If I'm
that
playing with
not
a
solving
striker who can't
anything.
hold, I'm not passing.
Okay, that not solving
Ahmad
anything.
is
Because
right. He
Gorkris,
shouldn't pass to
brother,
it.
let me
He's
show you
right.
something, right?
I
In the
wouldn't pass to a
Prem,
dead guy, bro. He's dead.
bro, is not the Portuguese league. And while I think Gorkris is much better and much more experienced right now, he might not fare perfectly different in every single situation than Hojlund holding up the ball. Of course, defenders are going to be on him, fouling him just the way they
Bruv,
foul
trust the
Hojlund, the same
papers,
way,
bruv.
bro.
Trust the
He might
papers.
do a better job in most instances,
Hojlund
but he will
Piatti.
have same situations. I
You
am
want the
talking
Hojlund
about
Piatti, I'm
when
not
we
gonna-
move from that phase into the attacking third. This is what we focused on here, the attacking third of the game. The attacking third, not the middle third, not the defensive third. We're in the attacking third. United is on the ball. The striker who's making runs, right? Not receiving passes into the box, right? That is why we're not scoring goals. That is one of the major reasons why we're not scoring goals. Because if you don't give your striker to score goals, then we depend on other people to score because you're not giving him putting the responsibility on him. Because if you don't give him the ball, he can't do shit.
Exactly, that's the problem. He's
Exactly.
the ball.
And this is what I'm trying to tell you.
Can we get a
We're
striker
not
who's
giving him the
useful?
ball in the box, so we are
Can we
not
get a
scoring
striker who's
goals
useful
because
outside
of
the
it.
box? Can we get a striker who's useful outside the box? Link up the thing, bro. You get me? I'm
What the
tired of
fuck?
this
Bro,
Rasmus thing, bro.
link
This
up what thing? You
Rasmus.
feel this is bright? No.
Nah, bro.
Bro,
I don't know
all them
what.
and them never see Van Nistelrooy and thing, you know, bro.
No,
I don't
Yeah,
know, eh?
nah,
But
don't
like,
mention Van Nistelrooy.
What are
Don't
you trying
mention
to say?
Van Nistelrooy.
brother,
What you
no,
trying to
I
Please.
say?
had to say it, bro,
Now,
because he
what you
never
trying
used
to
to
That's
say?
a
link up
that's a
no fucking
proper
thing, bro.
striker. That
He
Mm.
never
bro,
used to link up
he did have
nothing.
link up play. He did have
Oh my
link up play.
Bro, in
days.
the last
He did.
season.
What this
Van
guy saying,
Nistelrooy.
bro?
Bro, man, them used to
Marking.
create for him more than anything else, bro.
Yeah, but Van Nistelrooy had link up play.
Marking, you're comparing
Bro,
Van
Hojlund to
Nistelrooy
forget
had
the
a
Ronaldo.
Van
criminalities,
Nistelrooy
bro.
had a
All men
no
is
no
take,
no
Marking.
all
no
men is
no
take a
no. Van
byproduct
Marking,
of
no
Nistelrooy had a
focus.
performances
Asking about
phenomenal
to
the
make
first
team.
touch.
to move away
Van
from the
Nis
topic. The
This
focus on
guy.
this is that the
These
team
are
around Van
charges, you know.
Nistelrooy used to
These are
create for him.
charges, bro.
Now you, this great
Van
one here,
Nistelrooy.
want to take the conversation away from the team,
Bro,
creating for
Van
the player
Nistelrooy
just to
had hold up
supersede
play.
his super player.
This guy,
That's
bro.
one of
Come
that
on,
was
man.
one of Van Nistelrooy's
Serious.
things. Yeah, I remember when they used to go long
Bro,
to
that
him
is, but you
and he
see,
was
the
playing.
problem is that
No,
is
no,
not
but
what we're talking
wait,
about,
hold on,
Bali.
hold on, hold on.
Bali,
They,
that
I
is not
remember when
the
they used to
important
go
in this
long to
moment.
him.
Who
Yeah,
mentioned his name?
I remember
The
when they used to go
focus,
long to him and he would be marked by a defender. He will
cool.
take the ball down on his chest. He will take the ball
We
down on
are
his
focused
chest
on the
and he will
attacking
bring
third.
other players into the game.
We are focused on the attacking third, right? So while
Yeah.
focusing on the attacking third, that is not important because does not
What,
happen
the
in the
link
attacking
up is
third.
not important to the team?
No, in the attacking third, that part we don't already progress past that in the game. When we in the attacking third, the wingers or the 10 or one of the midfielders in charge of the ball, the striker is looking for a ball to receive the ball in the box. This is what we're talking about. This is the scenario that we are dealing with right now. Right? So any team, Man United, before now, had wingers and midfielders that was able to create for the strikers we had in the box in the
What's the
attacking third.
incentive for them to make him look good? What's the incentive?
Bro, the incentive is Man United had to win games, bro. You
Yeah,
understand?
no, I hear that, but what's the incentive of making
Man
him
United
look
had to
good?
win games.
No, but like
Man United have to win games.
I'm gonna land with this point. Yeah, you're not interested in him linking up with his teammates or them using him as an outlet in order to relieve pressure off the team when the team is either being hemmed into their own area. You're not with that aspect of the game. You're also not with the aspect of bringing your team into play and everything else. Yeah, you're
Because
not. You're not
because in
interested in.
perspectives, bro. According to my perspective, bro, in other teams, if you watch La Liga, if you watch Serie A, other players could be used to hold up play in different situations and different parts to also solve the same problem. It don't always have to be Rasmus. So I'm not focusing it on Rasmus right now, who that is a weak part of his game. That you know, because he's not doing that, he's a shit striker overall. I think the team need to be creative and do different things. You can't do the same thing over and over and expect a different result, right? Especially when you see it not achieving a different result
But
as we speak.
ain't that what the role requires him to do?
No, it doesn't, because hold on. Because
Bro, he's playing for the wrong club.
what I'm
then.
saying is,
He's
hold
playing
the
for the
play
wrong
is
club.
important,
I'm
He
done
but
with
it's
it.
not
I'm
the
done
main
with it.
focus
He needs
and
to go
quality of
focus.
a striker, bro.
He needs
A
to be focused.
striker's main quality is finishing ability, bro. Finishing
Bro,
ability.
I'm not gonna lie to you, yeah. I have never disputed, and this is how you know I'm not a hater, yeah. I have never in my life disputed his finishing ability. I know he can finish,
So
but I
what is
also
the excuse for
what? No,
why we
no,
can't get to the question,
no.
bro?
That's not
Because
the
all I'm trying
point.
to find
The
out is
point is
why it
that,
is we cannot
bro.
blame players around him for not giving him the ball in box when we know he's a very good finisher.
Bro,
Why?
we didn't spend 72 million on a guy that is just a finisher.
Bro, but
Yeah,
Man City did that for Haaland.
No, but he's not just a finisher. He can
was
hold the
just a
ball up.
fucking finisher, bro. He's a
But he
fucking
can
shit
hold.
footballer.
But he can hold the ball up.
Okay, but he's also 4 or 5 years older than the man.
He
He played more football.
Yeah,
He's
but
already developed.
why are we
He's
talking
a
about
further
his
along.
age though? I didn't mention
Because
him.
this is the
I never
reality of
mentioned
what
him.
he is, bro.
No, but the thing is, you mentioned him as a segue to say, but all my man is a finisher, and I'm trying to say
Exactly.
to you,
But here
and
the
I'm trying to
problem.
say to
He's
you,
a finisher
yes, but
that
I'm
has
trying
not
to.
been
He's a
developed
finisher,
fully.
but you're discounting the fact that he can also hold up the ball. You're discounting the fact, yeah,
Haaland
that he
couldn't
can.
always do all these things, is what I'm trying to
But
say,
you're
bro. He took
discounting the
time.
fact that he's
And by the time
phenomenal
he
in the
came
air,
to Man
which
City,
Rasmus is
he was
not. Like,
developed.
if anything,
Bro.
Rasmus is just a finisher. He hasn't got anything else in his locker.
You know, this is why
apart from the finishing.
we can't have this argument, bro. Because you man them will not see that all these brothers that only talk up as this and that, they was having those same problems at his age. And at the time it is now,
I get that,
they
but
develop.
I
And this
get
is
that,
the
but
only
I'm not
argument
gonna
I
big
agree
up a
with you on
man.
Hojlund.
I'm not
We
gonna.
don't need a guy to develop
I
at Man United.
No, I get all that, but I'm
he's
not gonna
here.
big up a man that's not passing his test, that's not finishing his dinners, that's
I'm
not whatever
bigging
it
up
is.
the man.
So when you're
I don't
talking
know
about
why
strikers that
people keep
weren't doing
saying I'm
it,
bigging up the man. I'm not.
no, I
I
hear
am
that,
just
but
not rubbishing him because it's a waste of time. It's not it's a waste of time to do it because it's not in the full analysis.
but backing bullshit is also a waste of
I
time.
am not even backing bullshit, bro, because let me be
Yeah,
honest,
you are, bro.
If this is, listen, hear me. Because here what I saying, bro, listen to me. If man them really want to go and spend money on Gyökeres now and don't want to research the fact that at 22, he wasn't even scoring a fucking goal in the Premier League, bro.
But what's
and then
that got to do with me,
bro,
when he's been putting up world-class numbers
bro, it
for the
says
past
that
2 to 3 seasons? What's that got to do with me?
You know what that says to me? That
What's
in
that
2
got to do?
years, this brother is going to be 10 times better than Gyökeres. That's what it says to me.
Well, how do you work that out?
Because he's 10 times the player already as we speak.
How is he 10 times the player?
Well, go back and watch Gyökeres and you understand why I say that.
No, but I'm saying
how
is he 10
because
times the
he's
player?
better on the ball. He's scoring more goals. He's playing in a better league. He was not, bro, listen
on
to
the ball.
Gyökeres
I need you. Do you know what? Yeah, wait, hold on. Just I beg you. This is what I want you to do, right? Because you're saying this, yeah. So I can't remember how Gyökeres looked, yeah, when he was first playing Premier League football or
At
whatever
Brighton.
it is. Yeah, because my understanding is he only played a handful of games at Brighton. He didn't even play up to 10 matches for them. Like he literally played like maybe 5 matches maximum. Yeah.
And they thought he
So
was shit, and they got rid of
hold on.
him.
Hold on. So the idea of judging a man like the way you're judging him off of 5 games, but yet you're ready to die for a man. You're ready to die on the hill of a man that's played like most probably like 70 odd games, yeah, and looked shit in the vast majority of them. Yeah. I just find this strange. Yeah. This guy, yeah, he didn't get a chance at Brighton. Yeah. So all this, Gyökeres was this and that. He never got a chance.
Because he wasn't good enough.
Yeah, I can agree. I'm not even gonna argue
Right.
that.
So this is
But
what I'm saying here, man.
wait, hold on.
All right. Okay.
All I'm saying is, I can only agree on the basis that we didn't see what he was capable because the managers did not give him a chance. Because he's not good enough, cool. But when a manager gave him a chance, he showed that he had something there and stepped up. Hojlund, I don't even know what he is, whether he's he is a WWE superstar. Yeah. This guy plays like he's auditioning for Royal Rumble. Yeah.
Maybe.
This guy is a horrible
bro, listen.
striker.
The problem
bro.
is, I don't deny that because right now, bro, I admit he has not been good. His improvement has stopped, stagnated. He's probably regressing. And I do admit that, bro. I don't never take that away. But see, like these brothers here, Michael Haywood chatting this rubbish, right? These is probably one of the guys that probably say Ahmad is the best players in the team, bro. And I would highlight to you that over 53 games, our brother has scored, 23 goals or something like that. 57 games, 23 goals. Hojlund is more. Over 71 games, it's more. I think actually the numbers is flipped. One is 17 and one is 50. One is 23 over 71. And one is 17 over 50 something. I don't know. But I don't compare the two players because one is a striker, one is a winger. I will compare ManUtd Staples and my standard for who the right winger should be, and I would compare him to Mason Greenwood. He's far from that, bro. He can't even lace his left boot still. So for me, bro, like I do like Ahmad, but I am not over the moon because he's not half the player that Mason Greenwood is. So I'm never going to be like jumping up and down. You know what I mean? When he proves to me he take over the mantle or he reach a point where, yeah, boy, I say week in, week out, I could depend on him for a goal in the first half of games, starting 90 minutes, cool. But right now, bro, I'm not getting the output I would have get from a Mason Greenwood. So I really not too happy. And I'm not too happy with most of the team, bro. I looking at it like, bro, like, man, them might feel like defending Hojlund. I just not rubbishing him because he's a young player that rubbishing him now not going to help resale. It not going to help develop him. It's not helping nothing. It's just giving us glorified satisfaction.
Do you think his performance? Do you think? Yeah, let's just say we don't rubbish him. But let's just say we don't rubbish him and we pretend like we're seeing some amazing work from him, right? That still doesn't help him when another team is watching what he's doing, right? And then they're coming in like, oh yeah, we're thinking of taking Rasmus, and then Man United are like, yeah, we don't really want to lose too much money on the kid, so yeah, 50 million. And they're like, what? 50 million?
The problem is you guys thinking in
this guy can't even hold up the ball.
The problem is you guys we still need to get
coaches in to teach him,
bro,
how to make
the biggest two problems in this argument, and the reason why we have an issue is because I looking at Hojlund to be a striker that we could depend on in 2026, 27. You looking at him to be that guy right now. It's two different eyes looking at the player in that concern. You understand?
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, I've seen guys, bro,
development don't be linear.
Yeah, but this is the thing, yeah. I've seen young strikers at Manchester United. This is why I say the bar is low. I've seen young strikers at Manchester United, yeah, and it's not that they wasn't good enough, yeah, but they wasn't good enough on the basis that we can see that we can't rely on them in this team to be like a backup striker in any form of way. But it's not because we're doubting the ability. Like, we're not doubting that, oh, like you can't like trick a man or get past a man, or we doubt that you
It had
can't
different
receive
types
the
of number
ball
nines,
with
bro.
a good quality touch or whatever it is. Like, the thing is, yeah, having a first touch, yeah, and things of that nature, yeah, is literally the basics
Yeah,
of coming
I
through Manchester
agree.
United
But
academy.
sometimes,
Yeah,
bro,
literally the basics.
yeah, you know what's going on, bro? I don't blame you. But here what I
And
would say to that.
all of them players
When
that we
you
have in the
listen,
academy,
hear me
which
out,
one of
bro.
them don't have a first
Bro,
touch?
listen
Which
to
one
me.
of them?
Hear me. I find, listen, right? I hear you. But my problem is, look at the holistic situation, bro. Like, I watched the game this weekend, right? And I hear men talk about Hojlund lying down on the ground. But in the game, the defender knee him in his back, kick him on his ankle, clear him out, no foul from the ref. A man hit him my elbow to face multiple times. And so he on the ground, but he on the ground because he get kicked down or elbow down or some shit. But man, them laughing at him, he's a wrestler. Cool. Have the fun and jokes, all that's well and good. Right? Man like Michael Haywood and them laugh at him because he's a wrestler and whatever. When you see men hit him an elbow in the face and think, cool. When it happened to Ahmad, the first men them is be screaming. But they wouldn't scream for another player, bro. And this is the problem. Why I don't support Ahmad, bro? Here why I don't support Ahmad. I do support him as a matter of fact. But guess what? He's not as good as everyone claims he is to be. He's okay. In fact, he has not even been better than Garnacho in the last 5 games. Garnacho has been better than him in the last 5 games he's played. He has still, his performances from the first 10 games to this last 10 games has been stark different. He was amazing in the first 10 games, and in the last 10 games, he barely offers anything in the game until the last 5-10 minutes. So for me, I'm like, he's not doing well enough to maintain his starting role in Manchester United. He should be coming off the bench. That's just my honest opinion. And if he's not doing well, what he should be doing every time he's on the pitch, bro, his performance has dropped.
They're overplaying him right now.
Exactly.
They're
You know what I
overplaying
mean?
him.
But man, them is like, start Ahmad. Bro, he being overplayed. You could see it, we could see it. And it's not disliking a player to say, bro, his performance have dropped because he's tired. He's tired. You could see it. He needs to rest. We need an option there to come in and perform when he's resting. It's normal. Like, bro, like, how many times have you heard me say it? I only need a player to play 60 minutes. I don't care who play. Wants to say, I guess 60 minutes, a good 60 minutes. Because, brother, these guys ain't robots. They're not robots, bro. They get tired. Sometimes they pick up a light injury, they twist an ankle in between a game. You mightn't see like they twist the ankle, but they twist it after the game. You know, it swell up big. You know what I mean? These things just happen, it's normal.
I think initially what I tried to basically say, right? Initially, or maybe I should have framed it as a question rather than trying to dig out Rasmus. What I was basically saying initially was, are the wing backs going to unlock Rasmus Hojlund? Because I believe they can maybe get another 30 to 40% out of Xerxes. Because, like I say, me personally, if I had it my way, I would sell both of them. Because the sample size that I've seen for both of them, I just don't think that these are guys that are going to take us to the promised land. I need strikers that can hold up the ball. I need strikers that are super confident. I need strikers that can finish with their left foot, right foot. I need strikers that are strong, that are quick, and most importantly, with good movement, and most importantly, good in the air. Because if you're a central striker and you got aerial balls coming in and you're never going to score with your head, or you score once in a blue moon with your head, for me, that's not good enough. The best strikers in the world can score with their head. I remember Alan Shearer scoring so many goals with his head. So many
Bro,
goals.
I thought you was going to talk about a striker right or wrong now who would do those things, yes, bro. Because to me, most of these strikers nowadays, they ain't really too good with the head, no. You know what I
Harry
mean?
Kane is good with his head.
Harry Kane, yeah, but bro, oh, come on, bro. I mean, Harry Kane, As much
There's
as I
strikers
rubbish
out there
dude,
good with their head,
he
bro.
been one of the best strikers for the last decade, King. For the
Romelu
last 10
Lukaku
years.
is good with his head. There's
Who's that?
strikers out there. Romelu Lukaku is
Yeah,
good with his
he
head.
good, but
Victor
bro, you know what I
Osimhen
mean?
is
He had
good
a
with his
truck
head.
stop touch, bro. But at the same time, Royal are not too different. But at the same time, I get your point. And this is the thing where I say, it's like, bro, we could rubbish this guy all we want. It don't have that much greater out there unless we go and spend 100 mil. Or we bringing in a guy who's 26, 27, 28, 20, 29 years old. Because realistically, in
Wait,
the age group, they're all kind of fucking shit, bro. Right
nah,
now.
in the age group, he's near enough the bottom of the pile. We had this argument with Omo the other day, and he brought up several guys in the age group, and you couldn't objectively tell him that any of them guys were better than any of them guys wasn't better than Rasmus Hojlund.
No,
Like you couldn't
he brought
really.
up guys around 25, 26, bro. Because
Nah,
even
he wasn't. He
if
was
he didn't
bringing
bring
up
up
guys
anybody
in his
Rasmus
age
age, bro.
category. He was
No, he
bringing guys
didn't.
up in his age category. And I tell
Who?
you this, he brought up multiple guys. As an example, he brought up the guy from Ipswich. Yeah, he's in his
Yeah,
age
but this guy
category.
from Ipswich
Yeah,
playing for a relegation team. They
yeah,
don't
but
even have any pressure to win. He don't have no pressure to score a goal. They don't have nothing that Man
bro.
United have in terms
But
of the
when you're
pressure that Hojlund have on the back.
when you're watching, when you're objectively speaking, when you've watched him play, yeah, have you looked at him and thought, oh, this guy is actually a decent player, and maybe
Actually, the only thing I thought about him is that he lucky he's English, and that's probably why he don't get red cards and yellow cards every game, just like Harry Kane, because he's a dirty fucking player. He
okay,
looks
fair
like
enough.
he is intent to injure players with some of his tackles.
I rather him Rasmus play like him than the
I
other way
mean, I
around.
would like my player to have the same kind of guile and dark arts, but
It's
realistically,
not just the
if
dark
I feel
arts.
like
It's the
if I
finishing
put him in
ability. It's
Manchester
the skill.
United, he
It's
probably might flop harder. He might crash out with red cards in games because he temperamental. His temper is just like this guy that we got rid of recently. What's his name? Hannibal Mejbri. That's the kind of player he is. The difference is he's a hometown hero, bro. You know what I mean? Nobody not going on. Everybody going to say, well, yo, he's supposed to play Fingal just now. You got to prop you up. He probably right in what he doing because if you look at somebody, the moves that he make playing against Man United, bro, the elbow that he hit at Johnny Evans to face could have break Johnny Evans' neck, bro. That kind of dangerous play. This is not rugby out here, bro. And if he was a foreign player, he might have get charged for that. The FA might have charged him for that. But this is Rory Delap's son we're talking about. So he probably going to have a lot of gifts and from the referees, bro, because he a hometown hero. Realistically, bro. If you put this brother in Man
There's
United right
nothing
now,
wrong with
all
the
the
dark
performance he
arts.
performed, you think he's good to carry that on?
All our best football team played with the dark arts. There's nothing wrong with the dark
True,
arts.
but they
I
wasn't
encourage the
trying to
dark
kill men,
arts.
though. They wasn't
Paul
trying to break
Scholes
men
was a
neck and thing,
dirty
though.
bastard. They used to frame it like Paul Scholes couldn't tackle, but Paul Scholes did it. It's not about tackling for Paul Scholes. It's
He
about
smashed the big toe.
it's about smashing into man and giving them the reducer. Yeah,
He
it's
said
about
man,
giving
he
them the
mash on big toe
reducer
too, bro.
so they
He
can't
was a
play
big toe
properly.
mash man specialist, bro.
Yeah, like you gotta give them the reducer. It's good, man.
Like I used to play left
football.
wing. I used to play left wing and left midfield. And sometimes when my brethren, or well, the two guys who used to play left wing back, one of them used to come in from Europe because he was living away. You know, so if he then wasn't available or he injured or something, I have to play left wing. Now, 70 minutes into the game after playing wing, you're running up and down the entire time. You're tired. So sometimes they bring on a new substitute. He just as quick as you, but he full of energy. You know how I used to do, bro? While I running next to him, you see my hand? Every time my hand do this and go down, I hit in the right, see right above your kneecap there? Right in that spot. Not hard enough, but just enough to hit it. And by the time I hit it the fifth or the sixth time, the next step he take, he will wobble because the muscle will contract in the opposite instead of expanding. And he will can't push any pressure out and he will wobble and I will win the ball. And the referee can't charge me for it because it's not looking like I taking any actual action, bro. Bro, my coach teach me to do that. I used to learn under being a Dutch coach. And the man tell me, bro, he said, listen, you need to know how to work with players. You will, when we go to the World Cup, you're going to face against players who going to do these type of things. So you need to learn how to use it in a game. Bro, it's real life. No, I'm not saying that, you know what I mean, but you're not trying to hit a man an elbow in his face like that to take off his head or break him up or anything like that. You know what I mean? You're not grabbing a man around a man's neck and have his chain and then burst it off while you're running. You would let it go. But the guys who would do these things, bro, they're a little bit violent, they're a little bit too aggressive, and that's fine. But it works for them. If it works for them, it works for them. Cool. But for me, bro, if I was to put these guys into Man United in current climate, I don't think they would perform half as good or as good. That's just me. Because they're not used to that pressure. This brother just getting used to the pressure. And now he's dealing with a situation where that player's probably thinking on the team, well, maybe I shouldn't pass the ball to you. And I think that's the worst thing could possibly happen, bro, because that's not going to benefit the team. It's not going to benefit him or the other players. Because realistically, a manager can sit on watching that, or somebody who analyzing the team or analyzing the players could be sitting on watching that and being like, bro, I never wanted this. But if I ever become the coach of Man United, I get rid of this player. Because this player is a detriment to the entire team moving forward. His mentality. But his abilities are positive, but his mentality is a negative.
Yeah, but that's the problem that Man United have now. We're a sweet boy team. Like, we're the type of team that doesn't want to break our nail or mess up our hair and all of this type of stuff. When we're playing against teams that out-muscle us, outwork us, outrun us, beat us up on the pitch, every single time, I'm sick of it. I remember, when we used to play Arsenal, and what we used to do to them on the field of play, they were better than us playing football. But how we used to beat them up, and then let's have a football match. After we fight with you for at least 45 minutes to 60 minutes, then we'll have a football match. We're not going to initially have a football match. We're going to put in a few wild challenges. We're going to put reducers on the players all over the pitch. And then, cool, let's now play football. After that, they didn't want to know. That's how football's supposed to be played. Yeah, proper rival stuff. Yeah, all this sweet boy football that Manchester United is trying to play, it's not it. That's why we're trying to get all these big players. Why do you think we're trying to sign all these big men now? We're trying to sign 6'2" wingbacks now. Yeah, we're trying to sign 17-year-olds that look like granddads. Yeah. Like, we're trying to sign big players now. Pace, power, technical ability. That's what we're trying to do now. So the idea that we're gonna play in a way where we're not using our physical ability as a strength is wild to me. So I don't care about a man putting in fouls on players and whatnot, as long as they're the fouls that are not going to get called by the ref. I don't mind them sorts of fouls. Do them all day, all night long. Because at the end of the day, the dark arts is... I've seen too many teams perform dark arts against us. And when they're performing it, I'm thinking, how come we're not performing dark arts back? That's my only thing.
Bro, I was already thinking about that, to be fair, too, bro. Like, you and me, we grew up under the same Man United, don't know, broski. Roy Keane, Dwight York, Andy Cole, Beckham, you know what I mean? Men like Gary Neville, bro. Even Starling, Gary Neville used to hit many the dark arts, bro. Redhead Paul Scholes, that's a bad man in midfield, bro. When I used to see Paul Scholes on the pitch, and I know certain men, he going into a tackle, bro. It's a certain situations, I know that man ain't going nowhere because Paul Scholes going to step on the back of his heel, bro. He just go and hook the tip of he pegs inside of that man heel and then move his foot real quick. And that man going, and you have going to be like, play on. But I was there for it because as a Man United fan, bro, to my heart, I in for the dark arts, bro. I from South Americas, bro. Dark arts nation. You know what I mean? Dark arts capital. But
even
at the same time,
used to step on people.
Bro, these things, bro, listen to me, bro. You know how much times I used to hate lining up for crosses, bro. You know why? Because it's a certain man them, they stand up on your foot, and you jump, and you break your ankle just jumping, bro. Because a man stand up on your foot and you jump and your joints stretch. You going down, if not your ankle feeling funny the whole rest of the game. You had ice up and come off half time. You know what I mean? It's one thing. It's always these are things you had to look at. You must know these things. Of course, I do these things too. I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm an innocent guy, bro. I here to win. And in some moments, you know what I mean, a guy better than you, taller than you. Imagine, bro, you're playing against the likes of Austria or something. And all the guys on the Austrian team is 6'2", and you at 16 years old, you're 5'9", bro. One of the tallest guys on your team. Imagine, just imagine, bro. Bro, I standing up on your toe. When you jump, I jump in after, because why? You go and jump and look like you ain't going nowhere, and I gonna be above you, and they're gonna be looking at you like, yeah, you tried and you failed. That's just how it goes. But at this point in time, bro, it's bigger than that. Dark Arts is one thing, bro. But the pressure from this United fan base is massive. Trust me, bro. I would say with my strong mental state, I don't know if I could handle it, bro. I might be stressed. Just like man, them be stressed, bro, and moving mad.
What do you think about our next game coming up?
4-1, 4-0 Man United win. Something wrong there. I mean, I would say the other way around. I don't think it's going to be that difficult, that game. I think the most difficult game was this game that we played against FCSB because of the form that team was in. We was away. You know, this team was really bringing in some crunching tackles. So the team, you know, they're making sure and check the physicality levels of the team. But I think we stepped over a little bit of a hurdle in terms of fight. And that consistent fight in games. And I just think that we're going to bring it for this game, for the next game.
So we scored 2 goals in a game where, in my opinion, because I didn't watch the full match because I fell asleep, but from what I saw, the highlights, the defending was shocking. Like, I couldn't believe the defending. Horrendous defending.
Yeah,
Premier League defending is much better than their defending. It's agreed, yeah.
I'll tell you, the first half wasn't good, bro. The second half is where we did some good things, like they get some here dry treatment and they came out to play. Anyway, this bit of news here: Marcus Rashford has agreed personal terms with Aston Villa, deal imminent after initial green light this morning. Understand Villa and United are closing in on the loan deal, discussing a buy option clause. Emery called Rashford player attracted to the project by UCL football. Big up. Maybe that might be the move that he was looking for, guys. As you can see it here, this is where we are at with this deal. I expect that this deal to be concluded by tonight, if not by first thing in the morning. I also expect Mathys Tel to be flying into Manchester tomorrow as well, because there are some reports that Man United are pushing for that deal to be done as well. And now that with confirmation that Marcus Rashford has accepted terms and agreements with Aston Villa and they are inserting an option to buy, I think this works well. I think this changes everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, one thing I didn't want is that the transfer window closes and Rashford is saying he ain't going nowhere. That would have been so frustrating. So, yeah, big up to Rashford. He's out of here. He's out of here, baby. And yeah, we could now start moving on.
Bro, I wouldn't say this lightly. We could see a bonks in this team from the moment that sale is done for the next game. It could be drastic, you know, because just remember, like, let's be honest, guys. Harry Kane left Spurs and they experienced some of the best football in the last 5 years of their team. In the next 20 games that he wasn't there, because other players decided it's time for me to step up. There's a void to be filled, and many players were competing to fill that void. Why that can't happen at Man United? I told Man Moyes would cook at Everton, bro. Third time was the charm for that guy. Ebali?
Yo.
Listen, man, them, we could experience a bonks. You know, we didn't get the manager bonks, but we could get player exit bonks, you know.
Well, I don't know about player exit bounce, but incoming player bounce could be the thing. Because obviously, like I said before, the wing backs can now start unlocking people scoring in the box. Now, from the previous game that we just saw, there's a lot of the goals that we did score were in the box. Unfortunately, the main striker did not score none of those goals, but I believe that the team will now start scoring box goals. So looking forward, going forward to seeing the wing backs unlocking our attacking potential, because at the end of the day we've struggled real bad to score goals, and this is why other teams have been able to beat us, because it seems like we're not scoring but they're getting chance after chance after chance. Then they might score a goal, maybe through a set piece and whatnot. Then we start pushing. Then we start pushing to score, but we're not good enough in front of goal, and then they just catch us out. And then the game's usually over by then, and that's just sort of what it's been. So yeah, wing backs to unlock Manchester United, and maybe that's where our bounce is going to come from. Big up to Rashford, he's gone. Big up to everybody in the chat. I'm loving this news. But hopefully we'll see what's gonna happen at the end of the day. We might go in there. There might be a surprise tomorrow. You never know, because Tel could come in, but then also we might look at something else maybe, because Malacia might be going. So I don't think they're gonna get someone to replace Malacia, but maybe they might say, let's get somebody else who attacks. Who knows what's gonna happen? But the last day of the window, once the dominoes once one person goes, the dominoes fall, and then it now becomes crazy.
Bro, I miss this too, boy, J boy. You know what I mean, J? It's a far cry. 16-year-old Cesc Fabregas is from the average 16-year-old today. And back then, they didn't have the technology or the medical qualities that they had now. Can you imagine, Bali? I used to wonder, right? You know what I mean? I remember that day when Cesc Fabregas debuted for Arsenal, bro. In that game, bro. 16 years old. I thought he was coming to Man United, mind you. Mind you, at the time, there was a report. I remember reading it in the newspapers on the back page that Man United was going to sign Cesc Fabregas. And at that time, they was just going to secure the signing of Jose Antonio Reyes. And for some strange reason, they pull off the Cesc deal as well, right? Brother, where how many 16-year-olds you could name, forget Lamal right now, are wrong, then that debut for clubs since then that really went on to do what a Fabregas did or Jose Antonio Reyes did? Bro, none. Not much. The level of football, the quality of the footballers being produced has been drastically dropped from what it was in the 90s. I'm talking about this because I don't know if it's the way we coach young players now, but what I do know, there's a gigantic difference of how young players are coached in England to how they are coached in Spain, Germany, and France and Italy. Gigantic difference. And maybe that's one of the reasons why academies in England, you know, not at the top like the academies around Europe, like Bayern Academy, like the Ajax Academy, like La Masia, for example, for like Clermont in France. You know, they still have a higher level or rating, although there's not the top league in the world in terms of what they do with youngsters. And I don't know, bro. I mean, it was brutal back then. But you know, you would think that now that they have so many rules and stuff now that you know you'd still see players getting up from certain easy challenges instead of flopping every single time. Because how many times you see Ronaldo get kicked down and dragged down and get back up? Rooney get tripped, tumble, roll and get back up, chase the ball down and still score goals and things. You're not seeing that in this day and age. Players just going to lie down on the ground.
Yeah, but that's because we're in a snowflake sort of soft era when it comes to football. So you're not expecting like what, like like it's almost like like you print a version of the original, and you keep on making all these copies, and you keep on
They
making
start to fade.
multiple copies. But yeah, and over a period of time, they just start to fade. Like we had some legendary ballers back then, yeah. And the thing is, yeah, like when I talk about the old school days, yeah, like about other teams, not even just Manchester United. Like I remember when someone was telling me, yeah, do you remember like the old school Leeds team? And I said, what? Like Lucas Radaby, Mark Viduka, Harry Kewell. Like we start geeking out. Like, and it's like, rah, like they weren't the greatest team,
But
but
they
they
were a
had
bad boy
some
team.
good players in their team.
Bro, you know
They
that
had
next
some
big team back in
good
the day?
players.
I can't remember what exactly is the name of the team, but it had some Danish men on that squad, boy. Men like John Dahl, Thomason and Dennis Ramadal and these boys. I don't know if it was QPR or what. I remember one of the Premier League teams had them brothers in that team, and them brothers used to destroy men, bro. John Dahl, Thomason and Ramadal, Dennis Ramadal and these boys, they used to destroy men. You know what I mean?
What about the Bolton team that had a Kocher in it? JJ Okocha.
That Tottenham team was ballers, bro. Bro, listen, this is what I say. Bro, that's some teams that we see in life, King. I don't know about some of these youngsters nowadays, but sometimes I just watch football and watch these brothers play, and I just feel like these boys didn't grow up watching the same football I grew up watching. Had to be they didn't grow up watching the same football because they don't play football.
That's crazy. That AC Milan team that he's talking about, that was a crazy team.
With Shevchenko and Kaká and Pato, 16-year-old Pato, lightning, dribbling everybody.
Some crazy teams.
That was
and
actually good.
Then some of the Italian teams, some of the Italian teams were like Christian Vieri and players like that. Like they had some mad teams. But then we fast forward to today, right? Like there's hardly like I look at that Liverpool team, they're on the top of the table, right? And even though objectively we can admit that they are a good team, in reality, in my opinion, and this is not me just being a hater, I just don't think they're real tight. I just don't. Like, I really don't think that they are all that, because I've seen some real good teams. And I just think they're lucky that everybody else is shit. Like, that's just me, objectively speaking. Arsenal's a better team than us, but they're shit. Arsenal's a much better team than us, but they are flipping shit. They are dog shit.
There are plenty of teams that ain't that good and lucky to be where they are right now. Because, I mean, some of them teams actually being at the endeavor best, and they're still in that good. I'm being honest, like, I mean, this Liverpool team is a good team, but it's not one of the best Liverpool teams that they've had, to be honest. Let me be real. That team with Mane in it and Firmino was 10 times better than this team on paper and off it. Bro, football is weird. In the I want football to go back to basics. Back like the early 2000 days, bro. Where refs telling men to get up and booking them for lying on the ground and thing too long. You know what I mean? And all them fake flopping, yellow card. Because, brother, it long. It is long. Vegeta, this is the last time I drop in the link, bro, because I dropped the link just now and we end up here another hour. So, I giving you the last 5 minutes to close. When you're done, we close in the show, Vegeta. Pick up. £45 million, including bonuses. Mathys Tel is buzzing and can't wait to join Manchester United. He already said yes to Manchester United. Clubs are discussing loan with option to buy in the summer. Around 45 million. Yeah, that's the price. I tell men that. I mean, they ain't so stupid. They'll go there and offer more than what Spurs offering when he done tell Spurs no. And and Bayern accept the deal for Spurs at 60 million euros. So offer the same thing. The player would rather come here. He probably would say yes to United. Offer the same thing. If they're given trouble, add 5 million in add-ons. Big up to Vegeta in the building, broski.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Chilling.
Big
I'll
up.
get your main screen because we switching rules now. Vegeta in the scene.
Okay.
Big up to everyone in the chat.
Why are you giving me main screen? I don't take everybody, bro. The news that are coming up today is crazy, no?
Crazy, bro. Crazy time, bro. Good news, to be fair, bro. Like, I mean, the window wasn't really too appealing. It was getting to a point where everybody could have been disappointed. To be in all honesty, you know, I mean, could have felt some disappointment in the performance. And I mean, Anthony leave, Rashford leave. I mean, you don't know, Malacia and Casemiro might move on deadline day. Christian Eriksen, there's a report that he might be leaving on deadline day. And, you know, we getting Dorgu, we looking to get Mathys Tel. There's some reports are we looking at this striker dude from Salzburg. It could be interesting on the deadline day, and I here for it.
Yeah, bro. I think we're gonna need like a long stream that day, bro, because it seems like we're getting a lot of our stuff done now towards the end. Because it's like we got the Rashford news and then everything else is like boom, 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 bro. So hey, how you guys feel about the Rashford thing, though? Because a lot of people are feeling sentimental. Oh, it didn't end well.
I think we spoke about it. We need to hear what you think.
We need to hear what you say. We talk about it. If you are brief, we thanked him for his services. We wish him the best. We wish him all the success. We are disappointed that he didn't go to a much bigger club, realistically, in AC Milan or the likes of maybe Napoli, which are bigger clubs in world football. Let's get it real. You know, I mean, somebody asked me in the chat, you know, is Milan a bigger club than Villa right now? I mean, like, since I was a baby till I big this day, they're still a bigger club, if you understand what I say.
That sounds like a City fan to me. But anyway, my brief thoughts on the news today. Mathys Tel wanting to come to us, I'm not surprised, bro. I'm not surprised by that. Rashi leaving, bro, I've got a different perspective. Like, I know that it was nice when he broke through and we had high hopes for him, but with the way it's gone in the last few seasons, what I said today was, for the first time in a long time, player power lost. You know? And it's something good. We need to mark this day because usually these players throw their toys out the pram and the manager pays for that, bro. But the first time that a manager steps up and actually says no, that actually works out for us. And I think that's a good message to send because it's not about Ruben. It's about the seat of a manager. Like that, what that represents, period. Like no player should ever be bigger than that because technically they work for him as he reports to the rest of the footballing club. So it's good to see Ruben stick by his guns for the better or worse, depending on how you look at it, and for it to work out in the end. You know, because a lot of people were worried that Rashi would stay and it would be a continuation of what we've seen at this football club. So that's how I look at it. I just think player power lost. We don't do shenanigans at United anymore. If you want to play, cool. If you don't want to play, get the hell out, bro. I couldn't be bothered if you played for us in the academy or didn't play for us in the academy. If you don't perform for the first team, which is what we mainly watch, we can't help you, bro. This is not the club for you. That's my 2 cents on the Rashford thing.
What about Tel? What do you think Tel's gonna bring? Is he gonna boost the club? Is he gonna provide competition for Garnacho? What do you think about his skill set? Like, what's your thoughts?
First of all, I'm going to caveat by saying I don't know the player very well because I don't watch a lot of the German football league. But from the little that I've seen of the guy, I don't know, bro. For me, it's a kind of a wait and see type of a thing because on the one hand, he's not like a well-known name for me where I can be like, oh, okay, I know what he's bringing to the table. So I kind of have to see him play in our team regularly to see what he brings to the table. On the other hand, I hope Garnacho stays so that he is competition because that's never a bad thing to have 2 people, hopefully, who are good occupying the same position. So we'll have to see, bro. I'm gonna hope and pray that the team behind all of these transfers they know what they're doing. The one thing I've noticed with our transfers, they all seem pretty young. I don't know if that's something that's coming from a guy like Wilcox, who's known for his scouting of young players. I don't know if that's a team strategy moving forward if we're trying to build a young core of players. So it's interesting to see the work that's being done. But again, for me, the proof is in the pudding. We've been burnt too many times at this football club. And I'm not going to rely on comps to tell me how good this guy is. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's making sense. Big up to the chat. I'm a little bit disappointed in you guys, even though you're the best chat in the world. You guys didn't put nothing about Mark and this hot chip challenge. I don't want none of you lot to let this guy slide. You know, this guy needs to take that hot chip on the camera, please. Don't let him slide.
Mark said Tuesday, bro. So we're gonna see if he meets that deadline, bro. But we're gonna remind him every time he goes live. And Mark, you know you go live a lot, bro. So every time you click that live button, just know you're gonna see hot chip challenge. Whether it's in the chat or where you put the link and we come here, we're pressing you, bro. We're gonna do the type of pressing that would make a man like what's our man that came and managed Ralph. We'll make Ralph proud, bro. That gang and pressing, bro. Pressing, bro. You better get that chip.
This is better than gig and press, bro. This is all pro press, bro. This is press from front, back, side, left, right, center, up and down, bro. There's no way.
So me does Mark sound like he's in Wonderland, bro. What on the mic?
You sound low, bro.
Oh, hold on. I'm now connecting the mic now, bro. I was saying long for so long. But what I was saying now, this is gig and press.
This gig and press better than any other press I ever meet before, bro. Like, bro, I get so much press in the last couple hours, bro. I feeling like I'm feeling straight, like I have no creases anywhere. You know what I mean? Like straight up fit the Iron Man to place. I could hang on and be, and they can't tell me apart from the clothing jack. But at the same time, we need to them need to press Bots as well, because Bots moving like he waiting for summer times. You know, he want to see how men do these challenges before he do any part of his challenge. So
Bots is worse than you, bro. Bots said he won't eat the chip before we sell Luke Shaw. I said that's some BS, bro. This has got nothing to do with Luke Shaw, bro.
My like alien said you're rolling a fat one. Is that true, Mark?
No, confirm?
Bro. Can you confirm the speculation?
I'm not. I actually just went to the bathroom, bro, because I've been sitting there for the last 2 hours. You know, balls move.
Okay, he said he's basically denied all allegations that he's playing with Amsterdam right now. He's denied all allegations. Man like Mark in the building.
Big up the tenor in the building. Yo, anyway, at least I know for one thing. You know, everybody know I might go to Amsterdam now and again. That's as far as I'm going to go. It's not like I'm going to Russia anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Big up to Danny B. Big up to everyone in the building and Vegeta. Before we
listen,
go, your
there's
thoughts on the
nothing
game
wrong with going
tomorrow.
Amsterdam.
Of course. Nothing's wrong with that. I'm from Trinidad, you know. It's like Amsterdam there every day. Broski. That's nice, man, bro. But you know, having some wedding cake is also interesting. You know what I mean? Vegeta, what are your thoughts on the game tomorrow? Of course, United, you know, we take on Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace themselves haven't been the best of form recently. Of course, they have key players. Mateta has been in good goal scoring form. Ezzy has been in good creative form. You know, what do you think?
I think if we take the attitude of the game that we played in the week to tomorrow's game, we can beat them, bro. Because, yes, Crystal Palace has given us grief in the past, but that's, because we've been that crap, bro. But if these guys actually apply themselves like they did, bro, because I know people can say it was, what was that team we played, Bucharest or whatever that team is called, bro. But we still did our business, bro. Because in the past, when we were supposed to do business, we suffered, bro. We didn't finish the work that we started. So tomorrow, if we can control the game, score the goals, and listen to the manager, and if the manager can also participate with a good game plan, and also make some very good subs like he did in the last game, we should be fine, bro. I don't know why we're afraid. I think the only thing we should be afraid of is ourselves, because we are our own worst enemies, not Crystal Palace, bro. And we should be winning that game, because 29 points is unacceptable. I just realized that today, 29 points in 23 games, guys. That's 29 points out of a possible 69. That's poor, bro. We need to get ourselves into the 30s and start capitalizing on when these guys above us start playing each other and dropping points. So I'm looking forward to United winning tomorrow. I'll say 2-1 against Palace.
Where the goals coming from?
I reckon Ganache is going to get himself on the goal scoring sheet. Ahmad will assist and score a goal tomorrow. That's my prediction. And I think the goal from Palace will be from a mistake from our part. It won't be them playing us off the park.
So you're basically saying Onana throwing the ball into his own net?
Possible, bro. Unless we somehow see Bandia playing tomorrow. Very possible.
I doubt that, but yeah, well, hopefully we win tomorrow. I'm not as optimistic as you, man, because in the past, Crystal Palace has always been our bogey team. I remember seeing them beat us 4-0. Our form looks better on paper, but in terms of the form of the way we're playing, I actually don't think we're playing that well. I think when we played the Bucharest team, I believe they just allowed us to have the ball. So it looks like, Man United came to dominate possession and sort of control the game. But in reality, if we're playing a Premier League team, they're not just going to allow us to have the ball like that. So that's where it's going to be very interesting. But hopefully we can win, and Mark will be playing with some wedding cake, and we can all be enjoying ourselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, shout out to you, man. Yo, Mark, bro.
Whose feedback is that?
It's Mark. He unmuted himself and we heard the from hell.
Okay. But yeah, big up to everyone in the chat. There's some real legends in the chat today. Man like Smurf. Big up Smurf. Big up Alien Tenno. Big up Danny B. Yeah, we got some real G's in the chat today. Yeah, man. Long-serving Manchester United fans.
And big up to Vegeta for coming in to help us close the show. Everyone, don't forget to leave your predictions in the chat. What are your thoughts on Man United? Tell us what you think about Mathys Tel. Tell us what you think about Rashford going to Aston Villa. And don't forget, let's talk about Dorgu coming in as well as the possibility of Malacia going out. Leave it in the comment section. We will definitely reply with you guys. It's our pleasure to always be in contact. Cheers to everyone joining. Of course, if there's anything breaking, we will be back. But until then, we'll see you guys later on. Big up to everyone and have a great night.